Hello to all of you and welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just going to get everyone in the room and let me get the screen share going here. Can you believe it? The final live presentation for 2024. I think he said 2025. I'm getting ready for next year already. My brain's already in next year. So we have a wonderful session today. And it is Abundance 2025. And it is Susanna. I'm super, super excited to have Susanna and I live. She's just getting something ready quickly, and we'll be welcoming her into the room. But while we're getting everyone in the room, and I know that, different people around the world, me included, by the way, I'm on leave. My uncle always said to me when I was in my 20s, my uncle said, he goes on holiday every single day and he gets paid to do it. Well, I'm on holidays, so this is what I do on my holidays, apparently. Anyway, Susanna and I decided that we needed to do one final session for the year because we just wanted to really share with everyone. We've been doing a lot of work together over the last week or two, and we really wanted to kind of bring it all together for the end of the year. So where are you? Where are you coming from? Let us know in the chat box. I want to see who we're dealing with here, and I can see for some reason that you can only chat with there we are. So everyone should be able to chat with everyone now in the Zoom session. So let me know where you are. Come on, let me know where you are in the world. Always interesting to see where everyone is. So Carola, I hope I'm saying it right, is in beautiful Cape Town. By the way, Jan is in Richards Bay. Lisha's in Ireland. Cape Town, Tammy's in Cape Town. We've got the Philippines, Cape Town. Cape Town, lots of Cape Town. And just by the way, who else is on leave? Okay, who else is on holiday? Because I know if you're in South Africa, a lot of people chose to kind of go on holiday from last Friday because Monday was a public holiday and South Africa kind of has the whole builders holiday thing, etc. So anyway, I intended to go on holiday. And you can see what a good job I'm doing in that. Been quite busy actually yesterday and today. But I'm interested who else is on holiday. Leave. Yeah. Oh, what's leave? Well, just for the record, leave is actually something that's very, very important. I learned a long time ago, and Susanna and I disagree on this. So let's just agree to disagree on this. But I learned a long time ago from a guy called Keith Cunningham, and he basically said, I'm just going to stop sharing so that you can see me properly. So I learned from this guy Keith Cunningham, and he literally said, balance is bullshit. He says, as an entrepreneur, you're going to work really hard and then you need to have a holiday. And you're going to work really hard and then you need to have a holiday. And the way he described it was that if you're a good entrepreneur, you kind of work 2 months on, 1 month off, 2 months on, 1 month off. I haven't quite figured that part out because I don't take 4 months off a year. I've got my maths right there. But what's interesting is I do always try and take a nice holiday over the Christmas period. It's the most amazing place. Where I live is the most amazing place. And, my colleague Alex said to me a while ago, he said, Scott, when you're a billionaire one day, where would you choose to live? Sorry, not choose to live. He said, when you're a billionaire one day, where would you choose to go on holiday at Christmas? And I was like, nice, no. Like where I live. And he was a bit perplexed by that answer. And I was like, no, dude, I really love it here. It's amazing. The weather's amazing. Everyone comes to town. The energy is incredible. I love it. Why would I want to go anywhere else? You got all your own toys, etc., etc. So anyway, that's my philosophy in terms of where we're at. So I've seen that everyone else, no one else is on leave. I was just wondering. So we got Linda in Johannesburg. Carola we're retired but working hard and attending loads of webinars. Okay, interesting. So without further ado, let's rock and roll. It's time to get into Abundance 2025. Now, who here has had a tough year in 2024? I just came off a coaching call and the gentleman was saying he's had a very, very tough year. 2024 has been a very tough year for him. He hasn't achieved what he wanted to achieve. He's financially gone backwards over the last 12 months. His business hasn't done as well, etc., etc. Who else resonates with that gentleman? Who else has had a year like that? I can see Naval has said, I did. Who else has had a tough year? Oh, by the way, if you had a great year, just type in there, no, I had a great year. I'm really, really interested in people, where we stand. I mean, we're literally here It's the end of December. It's that proverbial time of the year where everyone's reflecting on the year. I do an amazing thing every year. Sorry, that's quite arrogant. I do an amazing thing that I think is amazing. So every year I come up with like, what are my biggest lessons? So I don't remember how long I've been doing it, but I've been doing it for about 10 years. So like in 2015, I came up with 15 lessons. In 2016, I came up with 16 lessons. In 2017, I came up with 17 lessons. Now, this is your maths test. How many lessons am I coming up with in 2024? It's 24. And I wrote them down this morning. It's like, what are the 24 biggest lessons that I've learned this year? Anyway, when Susanna and I are finished, I'm going to pre-record that. And it's fascinating because what it allows me to do, which is why I'm telling you the story, is it reflects on your year. And it's like, right, what are your biggest lessons? What worked? What didn't work? What can I do to be different? And why this is important is because it kind of sets the precedent for us going into 2025. Because if you want to have an abundant 2025, well, firstly, you're going to have to probably do things differently. Because we can see, yes, I've had a tough year, really tough, not so good. It's been a really productive and powerful year in so many ways. So Felicia, fantastic. By the way, her son did the challenge at 13. So I know, Susanna, I've shared it with you. Her son literally did the challenge. Like most adults don't do it, but her son's done it and like literally showed everyone. But anyway, without further ado, the wonderful Susanna has graced us with her presence. So Susanna, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you, Scott. Hello, everyone. It is so great to be here. Scott is always teasing me because I've got my own clock that I work on. It's not anybody else's timeline. It's my timeline and the universe's timeline. And sometimes things shift and change. One of the things that Scott is really getting used to with me is this organic weaving through life. There's a structure that nobody else can see, but I definitely see it. And there's a flow that we step into, and we just go with what the universe requires of us, and really trust in this divine timing. And I don't think there is any coincidence that all of you beautiful human beings are here today, because I really truly believe that it is divine timing that brings you to the right information, the right support structures, everything you need to take your next step into this version of yourself that you enjoy being the most in this world. And Scott was just speaking about the fact that, last year, this past year, 2024, was a really challenging year for so many people, right? And I know a lot of you went, yes, me too, yes, me too. And from a numerology perspective, 2024 was actually the year of 8, which should have been abundance and growth and expansion. But so many people I know we're experiencing a lot of challenges. So I didn't see in the comments, totally agree. Marianne says, thank you, welcome. Hi, Carola, hello. So how many of you experienced immense challenges in 2024? I would love to know in the comments
So
if you guys
we had lots here. Naval did, Alan did,
lot.
Jonathan, Valerie, Carola, Ilza. Yeah, so a bunch of people
Yeah.
responded.
So I so understand that, because me too, guys, just so that you know, you're not alone. Me too. I also had the most challenges that I've had in one space of time, besides the year that I almost died. I always put that in as a caveat. But otherwise, the universe was like, bam, 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 bam. Yeah, handle this. Woo-hoo. And it really tasted my authentic resilience. And I am somebody who helps people step into authentic resilience. And what does that mean? Authentic resilience to me means that no matter what comes your way, that you can navigate it with some semblance of ease and grace and with minimal suffering, right? So how many of you guys would like to navigate life with ease and grace, no matter what comes your way, and minimal suffering? Can I get a hell yeah? Guys, I'm very pro hell yeah. If you get excited, you can give me a little hell yeah. Okay, I see them. Hell yeah, coming out. Beautiful, beautiful. Because that's what I'm all about. I'm about really facilitating and helping you guys do that. Navigate life with as much ease and grace and joy and wonderment and as little suffering as possible. So stay tuned because Scott and I got together after this insane year that so many people had. And some people had a mix of a year as well. And of course, it was a mix of a year for all of us, right? There were also highs. There were good parts of the year. Scott, were there good parts of the year for
No,
you?
no, no. I had, look, I always say this, and and funny that I was preparing for this later, but there were some of the hardest things in life have always turned out to be some of the best things in life for me. And so the good parts have been the learnings and the growth I've had through the hard parts. I know that sounds like an oxymoron to a lot of people, but that's it. It really has been a year of tremendous lows and tremendous highs, basically, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I mean, there is that old saying, right? That some of the greatest gifts that you will ever receive come in the ugliest packaging. And sometimes the universe does do this to us. It certainly has. I've experienced that as well. And I'm sure some of you sitting in the room have experienced it as well. But I want to chat to you guys a little bit about why now is the absolutely perfect time to be doing the work that Scott and I are bringing to you. So the reason why Scott and I came together is because I work multidimensional. So I work mind, body, heart, and spirit. And I have practical tools, techniques, ancient wisdom, as well as current wisdom to help you navigate things. And Scott is Mr. Practicality. So he has
Let me
literally,
make sure we start on time.
yes, he will make sure we start on time. But he also has been working in this industry of wealth creation for 20 years. And one of the things that is becoming more and more apparent to me is that, and I keep getting messages and I keep getting confirmation from the universe, is that we are moving into a space where work is shifting and changing, guys. We're not going to be working like we used to work. It's not going to look like that in the future. And so you can either stay in dense four-dimensional way of being, which is that one that kind of says, this is success, is working yourself to the bone, right? And I'm so busy, I just don't have time for that. And that's your version of success. Or you can step into this fifth dimensional way of being. And some of this language you'll become used to as we go along. And if there's something you don't understand, guys, you can just say to me, hey, what does that mean? And I will explain it. So the fifth dimensional way of being is an abundant state way of being. And it's where your wealth is freedom of time, right? Freedom of choice to choose how you are going to experience yourself in this world, who you are going to experience yourself as, and that you have passive streams of income that come in that allow you to live life in purpose with your bliss, in flow with your bliss. And that's what I'm passionate about. I'm really passionate about supporting you in loving yourself fiercely and loving your life fiercely. And how do we step into that abundant state? So 2025 is the year of completion. It's the year of finishing off and wrapping up and putting in a nice little bow all of the things that no longer serve you and putting them behind you and creating space and creating the foundations that we need in order to launch ourselves out into the universe in a whole different way. And that is why now is the perfect time to be doing the work that Scott and I are bringing to you guys, this opportunity that Scott and I are bringing to you guys. 2026 is the energy of one. So 2026 is your launch pad. But guys, you cannot build a house without foundations. You can't. You cannot park a Ferrari in a garage that has a broken down Beetle in the garage. You have to first wrap that all up and clear it all up and create the space. And then you can come in and park that beautiful Ferrari in there. Does that make sense, guys? Have you guys Do you get that? Do you understand? Does that make sense? Do you get a little hell yeah movement within yourselves going, yes, that's what I want. I want to let go of everything that no longer serves me. And I want to step into a space where I can truly embrace all of the beautiful gifts that are available to me. And how do we do that? We do that by doing it multi-layered, because how many of you, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. How do we do that? We have to work mind, body, heart, and spirit. We have to get our mindset right and open ourselves up, okay, in the right way.
Can I just say something quickly? Sorry, Susanna.
Yeah.
Actually, I know I'm interrupting. Finish your train of thought, and then I want to say something.
Okay, we have to get our heart space right so that we are open to receiving. We have to get our physical actions right within the world, like the actual doing part. And we have to get our energetic field right, because our energy vibration is the thing that will allow the beautiful things to just be attracted to us. And any manifestation coach will tell you these things, right? But so many people end up like working so hard, doing all these things instead of just getting their vibrational frequency right, their mindset, just those little tweaks, the little heart tweaks and the little action tweaks, and then everything flows together. And when people say, you know, I just don't know if I buy into this woohoo, and I know, Scott, you've used that before, woohoo. I want to all just invite you guys to the idea that the moon controls the ocean, right? It controls the tides, and the waves get wild when the moon is close. Have you guys seen when it's full moon and the tide goes wild, right? And we are made up of water. And so how can it be that we are not, I even got a thumbs up from the universe on my screen. How can it be that we are not affected by the moon, right? If we are made up of water. That's why it's called lunatics, guys. Do you know why people are called lunatics? It's because around full moon, people go crazy. That's where the word comes from. Lunatics, crazy from the moon. Okay, this is an actual thing. So I will take you through my presentation in a little while, but I wanted to just let you know that for those of you who do follow what the universe, how the universe affects us, so in terms of planets and energies and all of these things, you will know that we have just moved into the age of Aquarius. We've heard about the age of Aquarius. Da-na-na-na. You guys know that song? Well, we've just moved into the age of Aquarius. Now, before this, the number 8 was also about power, okay? And about and kind of conquering. It's that kind of energy. And before this, that's the age we were in. And you will see that this year, because there was this year of the 8, it was very much about highlighting the toxic, sorry, now I'm channeling, so I'm getting information for you guys. It was very much about highlighting the toxic powers that are in existence. And why do we highlight the toxic things that are in existence? Why do they come right into our consciousness? It's because it's time for them to shift and change. It's time for healing to happen. That's why the wars have come right up in our faces. Before, there's never in the history of time have we been able to see the impact of war like we have seen it now. Never in the history of time have we had the opportunity to say, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, and I'm not standing for it. But without it actually being in our consciousness, we cannot know that it is something that needs to heal and change. And this is the same for you guys personally. Unless you know consciously that something is not working for you, you won't know that it needs to heal and change. So for those of you that have had a tough year, I've got a really great bonus for you coming up. So stay till the end, because I've got a really wonderful bonus for you to help you clear out that stuff that has come up for you very strongly this year and before, that you're ready to just let go of. And I know Scott did my process, and he was like, I'm going to do a testimonial for you because it was great, which Scott, maybe you can give it at the end of the webinar as well. But Pluto has now moved fully into Aquarius, and that brings collaboration, innovation, healing, collective working together as a collective, community, love. So this is the beautiful energy that is coming through. And Pisces in Saturn calls for practical dreaming. So we've got this aspect of dreaming, so that imagination and looking for our dreams, but in a practical way. So taking practical action steps, right? This is so beautifully important. The energy right now is supporting, what are those lost dreams? What are the thing that you wished that you could experience yourself as, that you've forgotten? Let's remember that. And I'll go more fully into that a little bit later. But also just in human design. So I've spoken a little bit about numerology. In human design, the collective consciousness is all about supporting clarity and bold action moving forward. So that's 2024 going into 2025 going into 2026. We need bold clarity and action moving forward, and trusting your inner authority. If you're not in a space yet where you trust your inner authority, you are going to be called to do so. And that can be really rattling. And if you don't have the right support system and right guidance, it can be quite scary sometimes. So we are really here to create as much harmony and support as you can possibly need throughout this process. This is beautiful, unique energy, guys, that is going to guide you to a life beyond what you thought was possible if you step into it fully with your whole hearts, with your whole minds, and with your whole bodies and spirits. So yeah, just remembering you are the architect of your life. You can be the co-creator of your existence if you choose to be. You can be someone that life happens for you rather than life happens to you. So yay for you guys. Scott, I know that was quite an intro into the energetic side of things, but you said you wanted to add something. Is there something that I've forgotten that maybe you want to remind me of, or did I get everything?
No, I'm going with the flow. I've learned to improvise. Agendas are just irrelevant in Susanna's world. So no, what I actually wanted to say, which is important, is when we launched Wild Migrate, and the dream was to get it down to $10 per person per investment, and ultimately to $1. And the logic was, once we provide the opportunity for people to invest, then no one's got excuses. Like, it doesn't matter, anyone on the planet, you've got opportunity, you can invest like the top 1%, you're fine, like you're done. And that's what I thought we had to do. And having helped investors now in 178 countries, what I've noticed is there's 6 steps for every investor, like 6 needs that every single investor has. And the first one is belief. And the second one is knowledge. And what you're talking about, Susanna, which is so important, and it's why I think the partnership is so important, is only at step 3 is it actually access and investment. And at step 4, it's a system. And so we went and built Wild Migrate, which effectively is step 3 and 4. And then we had to build Wealth University. We did it the wrong way around, but that's what we did. And then we built Wealth University because we realized, like, people need the belief and they need the knowledge. And then what you're saying, which is taking it to a whole nother level, that I personally have only really learned about in the last couple of years at my own personal self, is the whole energy space around manifesting and everything in between, which still ties in with, I'm going to call it step 1, that belief and understanding and setting out yourself up for success. But that's why these things are so important. And I just wanted to kind of reinforce and pre-frame up front that these things, some people are like, oh, it's woo-woo when we get to the investment part. And actually, it's a complete other way around. If you don't set yourself up for success energetically and from a belief system and everything else, then everything else is a waste of time. We can give you all the knowledge. We can literally give you you've had access to the platform, most of you, for years, and you haven't taken access and you haven't got the results you want to get. And I'm sorry, but it's that Einstein thing. Like, you better do something different. Because in 2024, everything that we have was already available. And it's still going to be available next year. So unless you do something differently, you're not going to get the results. And I think I just wanted to reinforce what you were saying, Susanna. And that's why we've gone out, and when I say we, from a Wealth Migrate perspective and a Wealth University perspective, to find partners to collaborate with, to unlock the blockages that are blocking people. And where the synergy came in on your side is that in your community, you've got all these enlightened beings that are changing the world in their consciousness, but they still want to have passive income and make money while they sleep. And it was like, right, how do we do that together?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the beautiful synergy between Scott and I is that both of us want to empower everyone on every level, right? So whether you are somebody who can invest $10 or whether you are somebody who can invest $1 million, there's all the different levels that are there. And what does wealth mean to you guys? I think this is a really important question to ask yourselves. What does living a wealthy, abundant life mean to you? Because I live an incredibly abundant life. I mean, if I show you, I live on the beach, right? That's the beach right outside my window there. And I get to wake up and run between a mountain and the ocean and then have a swim in the ocean, hence the wet hair, and then start my day. And between clients, I can run out and swim in the ocean, and I can be a beach bum every once in a while. And for me, that is living in such abundance. That was my dream, right? So for me, having freedom of choice of where I live, of what medical aid I have, of what food I have, of beautiful, rich, nourishing relationships around me, right? Of living, doing work that really means something to me, that really fulfills me and means something to me, rather than doing work that I hate going and doing every day. That for me is a beautiful, abundant life. So what does an abundant life mean to you? Because it's not just about money. You can have all the money in the world. If you don't have good relationships, if your health isn't good, if you've got all these other challenges, then is that really an abundant life? No, you're rich. You've got a lot of money. But are you wealthy? Are you abundant? I don't think so. I'm really aligned with making your life abundantly beautiful. And I know Scott is as well. And so it's such a great combination. Yes, freedom of choice. At the end of the day, for those of you that still have a little wounding around money, money is an energy, it's a frequency. That's what money is. It's an energy vibration and a frequency. And it's not good or bad, right? It's just a frequency. It's something that you can use for good or bad, right? So an arms dealer, and that could be really bad, but you can also build a school, that could be really good. So it's really, all it does is amplify who you are. So if you are somebody who's extremely generous, then that money will amplify your generosity. It will allow you to be more generous in this world. If you are somebody who's measly, that money that you collect will just grow your measliness. Does this make sense, guys? Hell yeah. Okay, I'm getting hell yeahs in the comments. I love me a hell yeah. All right, wonderful. So how we're going.
I just want to shout out to Craig. He's
Yes.
done a lot of. I know he joined the Wealth Hackers. He's been on a lot of our Friday sessions live, and he just said I placed my first investment yesterday, milestone achieved. So I think it's massive because I don't think people truly understand that. I mean, you can learn about all of this stuff, but I know, Susanna, you resonate with this. Like, unless people take action, like, nothing's going to change. You know what I mean? And so I just want to recognize Craig for taking action. I think it's massive, and he'll go into Christmas with a peace of mind knowing he's taken action, and that the next year will be different. And I hope the same for everyone else on this call and those watching the recording.
Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely, absolutely. So in terms of practical actions, what we're going to do now, taking me getting practical, is I'm going to hand it over to Scott, and he's going to speak about his side of the offering, and then I'm going to speak about my side of the offering, and then we're going to come together at the end. So that's how it's going to work. I'm really, really excited because I know my beautiful community, guys, this is what I've been looking for you, is these kind of opportunities. And so I really want you to grab a pen and paper and be great students today and write down lots and lots and lots of notes, because you will actually get information that is actionable today right? You can, even if you don't join us, we are going to offer you an opportunity to join us for 2025. Of course we are, because we want the best for you. But if you're just going to join us today, grab a piece of paper and a pen and make sure you make notes, because you will be getting value out of today's session. All right? Hell yes. Okay, Scott, I'm going to let you take it away, and I'll be standing by cheering you on.
Thanks very much. So I think what's important here, we also set a context of trying to respect people's time and kind of where we're at. So I've got 30 odd minutes to go through this, and that's quite tricky. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share high level. I'm going to bounce through some slides on purpose, but all the time I'm going to show people, like, right, this is where you can get more information if you're interested, etc., in terms of that process. Is that fair? And to some of you that know who I am, I apologize, but I will need to give a bit of an intro just so that people understand kind of where we're at. So there are 9 steps to creating generational wealth. And our philosophy is that it's always been to work with the wealthiest people in the world to figure out what they're doing and to copy what they're doing. So I want to start with a little video. And I love this little video because it truly explains what it is that we do and why we do what we do in terms of the process. So here we go. So let's rock and roll. And I love that because it's, be part of the change you want to seek. And ours has always been to help everyone invest like the top 1%. I learned this a long time ago from Tony Robbins. If you want to be successful, copy successful people. If you want to be healthy, copy healthy people. If you want to be wealthy, copy wealthy people. And then I learned one step better, which is actually partner with them and invest alongside them. So for me, the question that I think you should be asking each and every time when it comes to money, and literally Warren Buffett says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. So the question is, would you like to make money while you sleep? I mean, really, I know youth, but have you actually thought about it? I mean, you're going into a festive season now. Most people all over the world will have some time out. Really make this visceral. Would you like it? Who would like to own assets which are hassle-free, simple, and safe? Hassle-free. I don't mean houses. I don't mean where you got broken toilets and all that stuff. Hassle-free, simple, and safe. Who would like the knowledge that the top 1% have? Who would like the partners that the top 1% have? There's a lot of uncertainty in the market. I was just writing a newsletter this morning. It's incredible what is happening right now and where we're going into next year. And who would want the partners to help you navigate that process? What about time freedom? Freedom of choice, what you do with your time, who you spend your time with. What about diversification? And finally, what about protecting your wealth? You've worked really, really hard for your wealth, and now it's about protecting it and having a plan B and peace of mind. So, for me, I love Richard Branson. I've spent a lot of time learning from him, reading all his books, and I got to finally spend 2 weeks on Necker Island. And the reason I did, and I was with him there, was because of our purpose to help everyone. But in simple terms, for me, I always try and put myself in the room where I'm the dumbest, poorest person. And so why am I wearing my T-shirt, the Wealth Hackers? It's because I'm in the room. I want to always learn from people that are wealthier and more successful than me. And so I hope that you all next year want to be Wealth Hackers, because you can go and figure it all out yourself. You can do what I did. which is go out, and I spent 14 years. I've read all the books. I've been on all the courses. I can see, John, you're online. We were talking about it. There's very few mentors and coaches out there, world-class ones, that I haven't been on their course, done their programs. I've done it all in 28 years, and I don't want to be arrogant. I've spent over $1 million in personal development. But for me, what I've done and what I've learned is that the best way to do it, the fastest, simplest, safest way to get there is through partnership. Where did this all start for me? Well, as a young boy, literally at the age of 13, I was on the construction site here with my dad. And my dad did what we were all taught to do. He went to school, he went to university, he worked hard, he studied, he got a great job. He became financial director of a listed company. And yet, when he died broke. He died at 59 and he died broke. And I, at a very young age, when this does not make sense to me, I'm being told to go to school, work hard, get a degree, get a great job, invest, trust the financial industry, and I'll retire well. Well, that didn't happen to my dad, so that's bullshit. And so I then went and I said, okay, well, what else is there? And I went and did the research. I learned it from Dr. Hannes Dreyer. And statistically, 94% of people will follow my dad. 5% will be financially independent. And people are like, woo, I want to be financially independent. Well, the problem is the moment you retire at 65, your paycheck goes down by 25%. That makes you financially independent. I just call that financially trapped, which is pretty much most of our parents and the baby boomers. And only 1% retire wealthy. And I just look at that and I go, well, that makes no logical sense. So I went out at a very young age and decided to do it differently. I did my first property project when I was 13, my first property development when I was 22, my first London, property when I was 24. I've helped thousands of people invest in South African property, hundreds in the UK, hundreds in Australia, hundreds in America. But each and every one of them was in residential property. There's a lot of problems in residential. You're stuck in country. You can't get out of your own country. And then there's massive barriers and hassles if you want to get into commercial property. When I say property, it's real estate for those of you in other parts of the world and or international. And then finally, you got all the hassle and the complexity around tax and structuring and setting up bank accounts and all of that. And what we realized is that the 99% truly just cannot do it like the top 1%. The first time this truly became apparent to me was in 2009. There was an opportunity in Wimbledon. There were 48 units. We could buy all 48 units in Wimbledon. We could buy them for £160,000 each. They were fully tenanted. They were fully furnished. And I literally wrote an email to all of my investors. I had 2,500 investors. I said, I don't care what happens in the short term with the market. This is a real opportunity. And I just couldn't get people to work together. And it was super frustrating because we needed to raise £10 million quickly. And we failed. And what really pisses me off is that we would have earned 8% net income every single year from 2008, 2009 till now. And properties have gone up from £160,000 to over £750,000. That's a 4x in terms of return, and we would have had the passive income the entire time. But we couldn't invest like an institution. We were trying to play like mom and pops, and we failed. We then went to medical. 2009, Bondi Beach, Sydney. I met two very wealthy people. I said, what are you investing in? The world's falling apart. What are you investing in? They said, medical. I said, why medical? They said, well, think about it. No matter what happens in the world, people need doctors. I was like, tick. Secondly, doctors never leave their premises. I was like, yeah, shit, from my childhood, that makes sense. Tick. And thirdly, doctors are very good at being doctors, but they're not a good accountant, so they sign great long-term leases. I was like, tick, tick, tick. I was like, why didn't I learn this shit when I was literally at varsity? I don't understand. Anyway, I was like, how do I participate? There were $5 million, and we're raising $40 million. There's 8 slots of $5 million. I ran around to all my investors, couldn't get people to participate. Retail investors and mom and pop investors think and have been indoctrinated. They must do it all on their own. They must do it all on their own. And it's completely and utterly wrong. So we failed and lost that opportunity again. And when did this all start? Why are we all indoctrinated like that? Well, we're all being taught all these books, Real Estate Riches, Think and Grow Rich, but more so, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all of this stuff. It's all taught to go and do it yourself. It's all middle-class thinking. It's all mom and pop investing. This was me with Dr. Dolph DeRoos on the steps of the courthouse in Phoenix. I paid $8,000 to go on a buyer's trip with him. I went out and I bought 16 houses because that's what I was told. Most people, how many other people, put it in the chat room, how many people thought that if you get to 10 houses, you'll be financially free? That's what I taught. I know in England, some people think 5. And I got to 16. I was like, I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm checking out the building. I'm free. What a load of rubbish. I wasn't. All that happened in my life was a shitload more hassle and actually less money, because the houses were costing me money. I had to make money somewhere else to pay for the houses. Okay, so a shitload more hassle and less money. And then I just realized there was a different way of doing it. And I learned this through Tony Robbins, through partnership. So I don't have time today to go into all the details, but I had the benefit of partnering with Tony Robbins, getting the rights for his business breakthroughs in Africa. And I learned through partnership. Like, I can go to a course with Tony Robbins. How many of you would like to go to a course with Tony Robbins? It's amazing. I'd highly recommend it. It's a bucket list. You should definitely do it. But I went one step further. I didn't just learn from Tony Robbins. I actually partnered with Tony Robbins. And that was a game changer for me, because it just showed me a whole nother level of how you can get results. And we went out and I used that same philosophy, and we did our first commercial building in 2014 through partnership. So I didn't try to do it all myself. I went out and found highly sophisticated people, that knew what they were doing, institutional investors and the top 1%. And 82 of us invested in this building. It was a $16 million deal, and it changed my life. And I know a lot of people say things like that flippantly, but it really wasn't. Because I had these residential properties that were high in hassle, low in results. High in hassle, low in results. I call it mom and pop retail investing. High in hassle, low in results. And then I got this building, and when you look at the results, it was literally high in results, low in hassle. High in results, low in hassle. We were getting an 8% cash on cash return net in our pocket, 8% in dollars, cash on cash income every year for doing nothing, and a 15% total return. And I always say to people, who would want those type of returns? And the best thing is, 5 years later, again, I don't have time today to teach you all of this, but the number one way to make money in property is to sell to an institution. 5 years later, we bundled up and we sold it to an institution. And so for me, whether you want to invest in America, England, Europe, Australia, South Africa, we then just went on and did it over and over again through partnership. We facilitated over $1.3 billion, people in 178 countries. We've paid out over $31 million. And the average, I know I talk about $10, but we've had plenty of people investing millions of dollars. And the average transaction size is $23,000. Now, I'm not going to give you financial advice today, but I'm going to share with you my mistakes, my lessons, my learnings, so that you can avoid them and you can set yourself up for success next year. Now, there's 3 lies that have been holding you back. There's been 3 lies that people have been teaching you and telling you that are holding you back. And it blows me away, and it hurts me, and it frustrates me over the last 10 years when I realized these for myself, and I was determined to go out and share it with others. The first is that buying houses is a way to retire. I've already told you. I went out, I bought 16 houses. I thought, woo-hoo, I'm free. And it was bullshit. I wasn't free. I was not even close to free. In fact, I had to figure out how to make more money to keep the houses going. And the problem is, it's because of the value chain of real estate. So you're the investor over here. You're trying to buy a house. There's no trust. There's no transparency. And there's fees all the way through this process. In fact, there's 16 different middlemen between you and your investment. And an easier way to explain this to you is Monopoly. So most of you have played Monopoly. I mean, who here loved playing Monopoly as a kid? I know there's many familiar faces here, and you've heard me say this before. But think back to your intrinsic nature when you were a kid. Did you enjoy Monopoly? And I know I loved it. I'm just an adult in a child's body. Was it the other way around? I'm just a child in an adult's body, still loving to play, Monopoly. And when you played that, was it better to own greenhouses or red hotels? Greenhouses or red hotels? Greenhouses or red hotels? Come on, tell me in the chat box. And if you're watching the recording, think it through, write it down. Which one is it? Is it greenhouses or red hotels? And it's amazing. Whenever I play this game, no matter where in the world, every single person says red, red, hotels, red, red, red. Anyone that's played Monopoly understands this. What about 4 greenhouses or 1 red hotel? Come on, I'm going to make it a little bit more confusing for you. 4 greenhouses or 1 red hotel. And still, people are like red, 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 red hotels. So we learned a long time ago, literally probably before the age of 10, we learned that commercial property is what we need to be investing in. And yet we all went out and we went rich dad, poor dad, and real estate riches, and blah, 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 blah. And we all went on courses. And if you're anything like me, you spend 14 years. I have an honors degree, cum laude. I have a master's degree, cum laude. I have the top course out of America, which is CRS, Certified Residential Specialist. I have ARPP out of England. I have PDP out of South Africa. There's very few people on this planet, and I don't say that to be arrogant. I say that to impress upon you the mistakes I made, that didn't go out and do more studying, and then I still bought houses. And then, over the last 10 years, as I got access to commercial property through partnership, I literally learned about the value chain of real estate, and that actually I needed to go up this value chain of real estate. I needed to invest where the top 1% were investing, either as investors or as developers. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole value chain of real estate today, but the typical barriers that people have when they don't invest, it sounds too good to be true. I don't know how, too much compliance, management, too many scams, access to deals. How do I protect myself? But there's three myths that really come through for everyone. I don't have the time, I don't have the money, and I don't have the knowledge. They're the three things that hold the most people back. I don't have the time, I don't have the money, and I don't have the knowledge. And when I say I don't have the money, anyone will know to do decent commercial property, you need to have at least a 30% deposit, if not 40% deposit, loan to value. And, if you're investing in America, you need $10 million cash to start doing it properly. You probably need that in England and Europe as well. And I often joke with people, even if you had $100 million, they won't take you seriously. So what I get truly excited about is we went out and we literally built the solution. You can whine about it or you can build a solution. And again, I learned this from Richard Branson. How did he start his airline? Well, he was stuck on an island in the Caribbean somewhere and the airlines were useless. And he was like, well, why not build an airline and solve the problem? So for me, it was the same thing. It was like, right, well, if I can't find the solution, I'll just build the solution. And with an incredible team, we built it. So you can literally go in, you can do it in your own name, your offshore structure, your offshore trust. You can go and look at all your investments in one place. You can literally manage now everything in one place. For those of you who hate hassle and complexity like me, well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. It's all in one place. You got your digital wallet. You don't have to set up bank accounts around the world. You can literally do it all in one place and manage it and have all your money. You can manage your online, portfolio, compliance, your KYC, your bank accounts and everything all in one place. And if you go to the platform right now, we got an opportunity, a private equity opportunity in London. We got a debt opportunity in Texas. We've got a commercial property opportunity in Phoenix, one of the top 3 markets in America. And we've got a German opportunity, mixed use in Germany. By the way, we've got Manhattan going live this week as well in terms of this process. So quick one. Let's just play a little bit of Monopoly. Do you want to do London, Austin, Phoenix, or Germany? Just type in the chat box. Let me know quickly. We're playing Monopoly. I don't have lots of time, but I want to impress upon you a point. And while you're doing that, I want to have a quick drink. So we got London, we got Germany, we got Manhattan, we got Phoenix. Manhattan's not live on the platform yet. It's coming. All 4 in bite-sized chunks. Okay, excellent. So I'm just going to go with London because it was the very first one that came in. So you literally go to London and you can read through it. You can look at the risks. You can go and look at all the details. You can download all the information. You literally go, I want to invest in a deal from $10. You go, continue. You go, I agree. You go, make investment. And there you've just seen me invest in London. Okay, so we can go to London. We can see my portfolio. Now, I want to do a deal. So that's private equity in London. I want to do a deal in America, so I'm going to do a commercial property. We just spoke about red hotels. So I can go read all the risk. I can play on the calculator. I can put in my exact amount of money. I can see exactly what my returns are, what the fees are, complete transparency. I can read through everything. I decide I want to invest in this. I literally go, I digitally sign the agreement. I can download it. I go, I agree. I go make investment. And once again, you've seen me invest into America. So let's do true diversification. Let's do a bit of European investment. I decide I like this deal. I literally want to go. I go digitally sign the agreement. and you've just seen me invest in Germany. And so when I talk about diversification, you've literally seen me do it in under a minute. Invest in England, America, and in Germany, all in one space. Now, I can show you testimonials.
What were the problems?
And there are people, I mean, this lady is a teacher. I don't have time today. Her name is Cynthia. She's a teacher. She's American, but lives in Italy. And she met us. She'd been sitting on her money for 4 years. She was scared. And she decided, no, it was time to participate. And, you know, through our mastermind and our family office, she actually came up with her financial plan, invested, and she got a passive income within 30 days. And for me, there's 4 simple steps that, you know, and you can click on the links. If you're watching the recordings, you can click on the links below and I'll put some of the testimonials in. But there's 4 simple steps. You can sign up, complete your profile, fund your wallet, and invest. And what we learned was that you're sitting here, and you've got to love my graphic art, but you're sitting here, most people on the planet, Jill and Joe Soap, and they want to invest in a property, any investment, but let's just say a property. And they want to make money while they sleep. But they go on a course, they do a degree, they get a coach, you know, blah, 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 and they just get lost and they fall off. And what we came up with internally was, we need to help Jill or Joe Soap get from A to B as quickly as possible and to earn a passive income. And so we started the Passive Income Challenge. And what's so interesting to us is the question we asked ourselves was, how can we help people in 30 days earn a passive income? And that's what we've achieved. And literally for me, you know, again, you too can achieve a passive income. And within 30 days, you can go through the 4 steps. You can have someone hold your hand and you can actually earn the passive income. And I love this little comment from Mohammed where he says, thanks for the $10 entry. Makes me feel like a property tycoon. Move over Gary Cardone or Trump. And he means Grant Cardone in terms of that process. So I want to show you what it's like to make money while you sleep. You know, because again, you've got the greenhouses. Anyone that's ever owned, you know, houses knows what I'm talking about. Hassle, complexity, broken toilets, management agents, tenants moving out, collecting the rent, maintenance. It's just ongoing tax and structuring. It's just ongoing problems. And then you got commercial. And if I show you here quickly, and I'm literally going to do this live for you, so you've got to see me log in. But if you just go to a couple of the deals and let me just log into the different platforms. This is me logging into the back end of these systems. And I just want to show you 3 of them for now in terms of the process. So unfortunately, I've got to always log in live on all of these because they're financial transactions. But if you go here, you go to your transactions, you look here. I mean, these are 2 industrial buildings we invested in the last 5 years. And you can see here, this is November, this is October, this is September, this is August, this is July, this is June, this is May. And they're paying out about $4,000 a month, both the 2 buildings combined. You know, they're so boring. I apologize. If you like fixing toilets, if you like going and fixing the DSTV and dealing with management agents and broken roofs and tax and structuring and all the hassle involved in residential property, I apologize. This is not that. It's boring. You invest with partners and you get paid your returns, you know, either on a monthly or a quarterly basis. You know, this here is a multifamily. We actually got just paid out last week, which is pretty awesome. Again, you know, this rather investing like a mom and pop investor in one building, we actually invested with an institutional partner and we invested in 750 buildings. And it pays us every quarter about $6,500 or $6,400 every quarter. And again, it's so boring, and I apologize. I don't have to fly to Oklahoma. I don't have to fix toilets. I don't have to worry about rent or management. The money just comes into our wallets. And then finally, this one, which I like to show. Where's my phone gone? Give me 2 seconds. This one's got even better security. I've got to get an SMS in terms of it. But this one's office buildings, and people always tell me, oh, yeah, and you shouldn't invest in office. And that's a whole nother story of you should always go against what other people are telling you to do. But if you go into this one, you know, we invested right in the heart of COVID. And you can see here that this one's paying us $6,500. They haven't missed a single rent the entire time since COVID in terms of it. So that for me is everything that I wanted to share, because it shows you the lies that you've been taught around buying houses versus truly making money while you sleep with commercial property. The second lie is trust us. We've got you covered. And what really frustrates me is that having worked with a family office, and I know most of you don't even know what a family office is, but in simple terms, a family office helps the wealthiest people in the world to manage their money, to invest, to protect their capital, to grow their money. And I've worked with one since 2012, 2013. I can't remember exactly when we started, but for more than 10 years. Now, they manage 65 families and they manage over $700 million. You need about $10 million minimum to be able to join them. And I watched them, and with my team, we watched and we mapped and everything else. And there's 9 steps that they go through to help someone get to generational wealth. 9 steps. And when we looked at the typical financial planner, they're offering you 1 step. 1 step. It's really, really quite scary. So we're wondering why all of us, 99% of us, are failing at 65. And it's because what we're being taught to do is wrong. We're being offered 1 out of 9 steps. And the top 1% are being offered 9 steps. And in my opinion, your choice as you go into next year is literally, am I going to keep doing what I've always done, or am I literally going to copy what the top 1% are doing? I'm going to partner with them. I mean, this guy's another amazing guy. I mean, he's actually an auditor. He's the auditor of the Auditor General. And it's so interesting because he's a wealthy gentleman. He talks about diversification. He talks about how he too could, do it himself. He's got the knowledge, but why would he do it when he's got access to it through partners? And, another gentleman here, who's not from a financial background, not a chartered accountant, comes from the medical industry. And he said he was so lost in this whole financial world and didn't understand the lingo, and go see all these financial advisors. And they just confuse you on purpose to charge you fees. And he said, being taught the information, being able to have a consolidated financial plan is just so liberating. And the last lie that you're being taught is that uncertainty is a problem. The time is not right. And we live in crazy times. We've got the Ukraine crisis, inflation going to an all-time high, interest rates going up, fuel prices going up, stock market up and down, load shedding, all over the place, Israeli conflict, Trump being attemptedly assassinated, Labour, those of you in England are a little bit nervous right now about what they're doing, particularly in the Biden-led space, the GNU and what's happening in South Africa, Biden quitting the race, and Trump's landslide. And again, at our family office level, our mastermind level, it's been so interesting, like preparing for next year. What does it mean when Trump comes into power on the 20th of January? What does America First mean? What should you be doing as an investor? Inflation's just going up again in England. What does that mean when it comes to interest rates? And the problem is that most people get caught up in cycles, and they see these cycles and they get scared. And what you need to do is you need the right information. You need the fundamentals. You need to be able to see the patterns and the trends. And that's why Ray Dalio, literally, this man is an incredible man. He says the single most important thing to financial success is diversification. The single most important thing to financial success is diversification. And I'll share with you how you can watch some videos from Ray Dalio. But he literally goes on to say, you need to diversify across assets, countries, and currencies. Knowing how to diversify your wealth is the single most important thing. And so, in conclusion, if you think that I'm talking BS, this gentleman and his team manage $160 billion. $160 billion. And they've averaged a return of 21% for 40 years. 21% for 40 years. Just type in the chat box, or if you're watching the recording, just think about it. Would you like to get 21% a year? Yes or no? And he's literally got a formula on how to do it. And we took that formula and we literally said, you need to diversify across countries, currencies, assets, partners, and time. And it's all about passive income. And I want to finish off and simplify it for you. I've done this now for 28 years. And if it seems confusing, the single most important thing you need is you need the right information and you need the right partners. So I want to finish with a little video. And I love this video from Derek. And I know some of you have seen it before. But this is the excitement that I want you to experience in 2025. This is what gets me out of bed. And, this is why I do what I do. And this is the excitement that I want for all of you. And then, Susanna, I'll be handing to you.
Scott, can you remember when you were a little kid and it was Christmas morning and you opened your Christmas presents? Huh? Can you remember that? That's
Well,
what I feel like.
I have a little kid, so I get reminded quite regularly at the moment.
I tell you what, amazing. And I only just got a few dollars back in my investments again. You know, it's the second payment I got in that I've seen on my wallet, and it's money that I didn't have to slog for. I had to think for it, but I didn't have to slog for, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's just when you start seeing your money work for you, it's just an absolutely undescribable feeling. And as a farmer now, I've got a very specific goal, which says that I need to build alternate income streams so that the weather doesn't matter. Because that's being a crop farmer, the weather matters very much, and particularly this past year. When your income for a year is only 30% of what your expenses will be, you're in a difficult position. And to be energized and as excited as what I am in that position is incredibly empowering. Thanks, Scott.
So, Susanna, it's a perfect point to pivot to you. And I know you've done a lot of work with Robin Banks. And one of the things that I really resonate with for Derek is two things that I want to leave as a lesson as I pivot into Susanna. The first is that Derek only started with $6. That excitement was $6. And people say, oh, but $6 is not going to change his life. No, rubbish. Because for the first time in his life, he made $6 while he slept. And $6 can become $60, $600, $6,000. So that's my first thing. You've got to get started and get results because it can truly change your life. And the second thing is, which I'm not sure if people picked up there, but he did a lot of work on his mindset as well. In fact, in this year, his income was 30% less than his expenses. That to most people, that means broke. Okay, like I just want to be clear. And yet he spoke about how positive he was because he had the right mindset. And so it's a perfect way to pivot into you, Susanna, because you can have the tools and I've shown people the solutions, but if you don't have everything that you're offering as well, that's where the true magic's made, which is why I'm super excited to be partnering with Susanna. And I will shut up because this is the much more important part of the presentation.
Not true, Scott. Everyone is equally important. Thank you so much, guys. Wasn't that great? Didn't that excite you, by the way? Like, I just want to check how many people got really, really excited. Because I know when I saw those, yes, Maureen is saying, yes, 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 absolutely. Awesome. Yes, absolutely. So, Linda, Maureen, Lucia, Peter, yes, 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 yes. Hell yeah. We even got a hell yeah from Thomas. Amazing. It excited me so much because I really do believe, like I said at the beginning of the presentation, we are moving into a consciousness, into a reality where work should be a bliss-filled experience. And if you are in that experience where you're working, slogging away to earn money, and it is not making you happy and you're not feeling blissful, then you are not living in alignment with your most authentic, and I mean this honestly, guys, I know this might sound crazy, but with your most authentic self. Because there are parts of yourself that you are abandoning in order to do what you believe needs to be done within the world. And I'm not saying that sometimes we don't have to do stuff that we don't feel like doing. Of course we do. But if you're living in a constant state of doing that, it's time to redesign your life, right? So Scott, I think, is like, I always just go, okay, universe, this is what I want to create next. And then the universe goes plonk and a human appears in my life. And I'm like, oh, hi, thank you. That's exactly what I was wanting. And there were a number of people that actually approached me to support this financial journey. And the reason why I chose Scott, and I'm not saying I won't work with other people, but the reason why I chose Scott is because he is so heart-centered. His motivation for doing this is just so heart-centered, and it just resonates with me so profoundly. So thank you, Scott, for presentation and for creating these beautiful opportunities. And people are saying 100%, because they can feel it too. They can feel your vibe. So I'm going to kick off and ask you guys, true story, Scott. True story about Scott. Susanna, yes, absolutely. So these are people who have obviously worked with you. True indeed. So guys, I want to ask you, when it comes to your life, are you the main role in the movie of your life, or are you a supporting character? Like, are you the star of the show, or are you the supporting character? Just type in the comments. Are you the star?
Hard to be the star of the show when Susanna's in the room, but anyway, I'll shut up.
Nonsense. I always say, if I can do it, guys, you can do it too. So let me know in the comments, do you see yourself as the star of the show, or do you see yourself as a supporting character who is constantly trying to help everybody out and constantly living up to what everybody else needs, and constantly wanting things that other people have? Like, what? I want to be the director. Supporting. We've got a few stars. We've got a lot of supportings. We've got a wannabe director. The director is pretty much the star as well, just by the way, ear and support. So it's a mixed bunch. Now, my whole thing is I want you guys to truly be the star of your life, the person that you really enjoy being. And I'm going to share my screen because I want to share a few slides with you guys. Scott always laughs at me at this stage because this is technical stuff. and me and technology, oh my gosh, guys, it is a trip. Okay, there we go. So are you the star of your life? Some of you have said yes. Some of you have said, I want to be. Some of you have said, I'm the supporting role. I'm definitely the supporting role. Oh, I'm really beyond the supporting role. So there's everybody is in here with us together. And I want you to step into a space where you are truly the star of this film that is your life. Because the reality is, guys, that this reality that you are experiencing is like a film. It's something that is happening here, but the only true moment is happening right now. The future has not arrived yet. The past is no longer relevant. All that is happening is what's happening right now for you guys in this moment. That is the most important thing. I've done a webinar on timelines. If you guys want to understand how time works in this unique reality that we live in, please do go and watch it. It's in the link in my bio on Instagram. Very, very interesting. I've been literally shown how time works. But the most important thing is to understand what our present is and how we can deal with our present. And then from there, we start dealing with past lifetimes that aren't really in the past. They're actually running parallel and linear to us, and our future, which is the next now moment that we are constantly stepping into. So I want to help you with that. I want to first help you create the best now that you can possibly imagine, and then we work around with other things as well. So I had a client who said, I used to be happy for others, for their success, for their loving relationships, for their happiness. Now I'm happy for myself. I look in the mirror and I say, hell yeah, girl, I love you. I'm so glad I get to be you and I get to live your life. I feel truly blessed. I've gone from 0 to 80 of the person I want to be in just 6 months of working with Susanna, and I'm forever grateful. Now, why I'm sharing this with you is to inspire you and so that you can see what is possible. So Daphne she's one of my youngest students, actually. When she started working with me, she was 21 years old. And she's now a doctor, but she's now graduated and is now a doctor. And she's an amazing, amazing, amazing young woman who, when she started working with me, felt very lost, in a very dark place, was battling with depression. And although she had all of these things available to her that life had to offer. She was going to an excellent university. She was living in a loving home. She had all of these things. She couldn't feel them, and she couldn't really experience the abundance that was available to her. And so we shifted her into a space where she could so feel so happy for herself. And she still stays in touch. And we worked together 2020. So it's now 4 years ago, at the beginning of 2020. And she's still doing so well. She's thriving. She's doing fantastically. So if you resonate with that feeling of like wanting to feel like that happiness for yourself, right? And that joy for yourself, then stay with me for a few minutes. What is a miracle, guys? I want you to just expand your minds and understand something with me quickly, is that everything is energy vibration, all right? So I work multi-level, and I'm going to introduce you to my secret sauce just now, but I want you to understand that every single thing is energy and vibration. And for those of you that are a little bit skeptical, I want to do a quick little exercise with you. And I want you to just hold your palms up like this. Right? Scott, do you mind if I put you on mute? Oh, thank you so much. Hold your palms up like this, okay? And just take a moment and allow them to just rest in front of you. You can lay them on your knees or on the table in front of you, whatever feels good. And I want you to just close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to just feel what's happening on the palms of your hands. Just feel, what is that energy that's happening on the palms of your hands? Can you feel a little bit of a tingling, a little bit of a warm sensation? Maybe it's cool. Might be like a pulsing or a vibrating. But just tune into the palms of your hands. And just let me know in the comments if you could feel what you could feel happening in the palms of your hands. Could anybody feel a tingling sensation, some warmth, some cool, what was going on? Warm and tingly, warm, light density. Yes, beautiful, tingling. Right. So my hands, what I'm doing is I'm transferring spiritual medicine to you, which is pure, unconditional, universal energy that I channel through me and then I channel out to you. And the reason why, and I see this all tingling, warm, little sparkles, warm tingling, warmth, cool, amazing. So why I demonstrated that very quickly is because so many people are skeptical, right? They say, how can you work with energy, but you're on the other side of the world? Like, how does that? It can't be true. Like, it's not as effective. It doesn't work. And I always do this exercise so that people can see that we are 100% connected. And there is no time or space between us, because whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching a recording of it, I have set up a grid and connected with all of your souls and all of your divine teams to set up the space in order to serve you, right? And so that energy that comes through me, which is spiritual medicine, and I'll explain a little bit about that to you later, that energy is coming straight through and into the palms of your hands. And all of you felt it, all of you, like made comments here. So I just want you to, for a moment, with this now amazing, beautiful feeling, tap into the reality that miracles are possible. There's only two types of people, those who believe in miracles and those who don't. Which are you? Do you believe in miracles or don't you believe in miracles? Type in the comments whether you believe in miracles and whether you don't believe in miracles. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Good, good, good. Yep, yep, yep. Brilliant. Because the reality is that in order for anything to happen, you have to believe. If you believe you can and if you believe you can't, then you're right. And this is key when we get to our minds. if you believe it's possible, and if you believe it's impossible, you're going to be right, because the universe is always in alignment with serving you, right? It wants to serve you. That's what the universe wants to do. So if you say, I don't believe in miracles, it goes, okay, all right, perfect. I won't send you any. And if you say, I do believe in miracles, it'll send them to you because it loves you abundantly, right? Life is a gift. It's this beautiful gift. Absolutely. But what is a miracle? Like, how can we define a miracle? There's a lot of different ways that we can define a miracle. And one of the things that has really stood out for me as a beautiful way of understanding what a miracle is there's this beautiful book called A Course in Miracles. It's about this thick. It's by, and there's a tiny book called A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson, right? And it's basically taken this thick book, A Course in Miracles, and condensed it down. And a lot of you will know a passage out of it because our beautiful Nelson Mandela made it famous. He said, our greatest fear is not that you are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Who am I to be brilliant, fabulous, and strong? Who are you not to be? You are a child of this universe, and your playing small does not serve the world. How many of you know that beautiful quote? It's such a powerful quote because so many of us hide from stepping into being our most brilliant, powerful selves, right? But our playing small does not serve the world. Love that quote. Yes, and I have the book. Wonderful. Yes, yes. And in that book, the way they contextualize a miracle is that it says it's merely a change in perception, a change in understanding. My lovely spirit animal, he's become my spirit animal, Wayne Dyer, I love him so much. And he said, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change, right? And that is a miracle. Because when we understand something differently, there's a ripple effect that goes out into the universe. And it literally shifts everything around us. Like when you're angry at somebody and then you find out you were wrong all along to be angry because actually it was just a misunderstanding. It just collapses and dissipates and the whole feeling changes, right? That in itself is a miracle. Do you understand? So my mission in life, dun, 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 is to be a conduit for miracles on this planet. I want to facilitate and support as many miracles as possible happening on this planet. And how do I do that? I do it through story. I do it through story, through sharing my truth. I am, if you guys know anybody from my community, and you can ask Scott this as well, I vulnerable share all the time. I share all of my ugliness, all of my vulnerability, because I want you to know that you're not alone. None of you are alone. And if I can do it, you can do it too. And it's so important for me to know that if I can do it, you can do it too. This is so, so, so important. There's nothing about me that is more special than you. I mean, I'm obviously special, guys. Each and every one of us is special, but each and every one of us are special in our own unique way. And our unique gifts bring unique gifts to this planet. And how many of us give up on our dreams? How many of us stop dreaming the dream that we had of experiencing ourselves being what we believed we should be in this world because of societal pressure, because of our parents saying that we needed to become something else, because of whatever it is, because we felt insecure. And we allowed imposter syndrome to take over. And so we didn't go after our dreams. How many of you have done that in your lives? I certainly have at times. right? How many of you, and I always ask for you guys to say this because I want you to know you're not alone. How many of you have given up on a dream or not pursued something out of fear in your lives? Comment in the comments so that you guys can see that all of us have done this at some point or another, too many times. Yes, too many times, often, right? We've done this, guys, so often. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, you see, you're not alone. And I share this with you because I want you to know you're not alone. But I want to guide you back to that version of yourself, that beautiful, authentically empowered version of yourself that sits in alignment with a love-filled version of yourself that knows that you deserve all of the beauty, all of these beautiful dreams, all of these beautiful wishes and experiences. You deserve them all. And a couple of years ago, I was in a position where I was on stage and I was addressing people, and this young man kept bugging me. I mean, he kept writing to me, and I just started my journey on stage, and I've had radio shows for years, and I've produced feature films, and I've done all kinds of things, and I've always been that counselor that helps people since I was a teenager, guys. I was the one that dronk verdriet used to find. For those of you who don't understand what a dronk verdriet is like the drunk, like sad people would find like at parties and stuff. I would be the counselor, you know. So I've always had that role going on. But this young man kept bugging me and saying, I want to do this. I want to be a speaker. I want to be on stage. Like, please, will you help me? Please, will you help me? And eventually he wore me down, and I had a cup of coffee with him, and he was so broke. He had lost everything. He had built up a business to a million rand business, and he had lost it all in one go. He had lost absolutely everything. He had nothing. So I had a coaching session with him, and one coaching session with him. We stayed in touch a little bit, but one coaching session with him, and he really listened to everything that I told him to do. And a few months later, he was on stage and he was speaking. And a few years later, this is not a lot later, it's okay, well, now it's maybe 7 years later, 6 years, 7, maybe 8 years later, he is now earning more money than the guys that he used to look up to. His name is Saj. Do you guys know Saj? Does anybody know Saj here? Saj is, I'm so proud of him. He's really gone from strength to strength to strength. And he said, Susanna is a spiritual sculptor, an architect for the soul, and a mirror for the mind. She helped me find my inner voice and nurture my fiery potential. Working with Susanna was one of the most reflective periods of my life and resulted in a steep change like no other. I'm truly grateful for working with her. And why am I sharing this with you is because if you, yes, so many of you know Saj. So if you guys take the knowledge that we are sharing, and I want you to pay attention to the story, pay attention to how it makes you feel, right? What I'm sharing with you here is very specific and intended to trigger certain emotions in you that make you go, hey, I do want to shift that. Hey, I don't want to experience that anymore. I do want to experience that, right? And I want you to take note of those things. I do want to step into the spotlight in my own life in a way that is truly fulfilling on all levels, right? I want to be a conduit for miracles in my own life because, yes, that is possible. You learning how to reframe things so that you move from a space where things are happening to you and things are happening for you is going to remove suffering in the most profound way and allow you to step into the most empowered version of yourself that truly is authentically resilient. And if you open yourself up to believe and you use the spiritual medicine that I give you, your life will shift. It will transform. I have no doubt. I have no doubt. And you will get to navigate the dark night, the dark realms, right? in a fun, beautiful way. Because how many of you have been taught that you have to go through really dark times and it has to be painful to grow? It has to be hard. It has to be so hard. Growth is hard. How many of you have heard a version of that belief? Just say me in the comments if you've heard it. Growth is hard. It is only through pain that we learn. It is only through struggle that we grow, right? Life is hard. True, true, true. Me, right? What if I told you it doesn't have to be? Would that excite you? What if I said, guys, it doesn't have to be? It really doesn't have to be hard. What if I told you that you could navigate life in a completely different way that would allow you to feel like everything is happening for you? And I want to invite you to something actually that I shared last night with my, I've got a course that I've been running called Kinsterkrooi Me, which is something beautiful, and it really is about navigating the dark night of the soul. But I want to share this with you because I think that it will have an impact on everybody sitting here. And I told the story, I don't know how many of you have read the books Conversations with God, but they're beautiful, beautiful books. And I don't know which one of them, or even if it was in Conversations with God, it might have been a story that the author wrote, but there's this story that this little soul that is so curious, this little curious soul goes to the universe. And when I say the universe, guys, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you believe in, for me, all rivers lead to the same ocean. So I've got clients from all over the world, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Jews, agnostics, spiritualists. For me, it doesn't matter. The universe. I will call it the universe for today's sake, but whatever you believe, that higher power to be. And this little excited soul gets called by the universe, and it goes and runs, and it's so excited, and it sits in front of the universe, and it says, universe, hi, what's up? And the universe says, would you like to go to Earth and experience yourself as a human? Oh, yes, I want to do that, says the little soul. Great. Do you want to experience yourself feeling so happy that you laugh so much that you pee in your pants? What? Yes, I want to do that, says the little soul. Do you want to experience yourself falling in love in the most delicious way, in a way that fills your heart like nothing you've ever imagined? Yes, I definitely want to experience that. Do you want to experience having a broken heart? Experience loss and that pain and that emptiness so that you understand the value of that love that you had? Oh, yes, I do. I want to experience that. Wow, I wonder what that feels like. Do you want to experience yourself as being unlimited? Hell yeah, I want to experience that. I definitely want to experience myself being unlimited. And just then, this old wise soul comes up and sits beside them. And the universe looks down at the old wise soul and he says, will you help her experience all of these things? And the old wise soul smiles gently and nods with sadness in his eyes. The little soul is so excited. She's so excited. She's like, yes. And she looks at the old soul and she says, thank you. And then she notices that it's sad, that there's sadness in the old soul's eyes. And she says, but why are you sad? And the old soul says, because I'm going to have to help you. And that's going to hurt sometimes. And because the little soul doesn't understand what hurt is, she just wants to go down and experience everything. She doesn't understand the thing that this soul is going to give up, right? But we come down for the full spectrum of the human experience. And when you have the right mindset, the right tools and techniques to move through when those challenges are presented to us, you start seeing them as opportunities instead of challenges, and gifts instead of challenges. and you can shift and move through the most difficult situations. And I know this might seem insane to a lot of you, but trust me, I will tell you all of the things that I've been through, and you will know that it is possible. I've had my heart horribly broken, horribly. I was divorced, and that was one of the biggest deaths I've ever lived through in my life. I almost died. I had something called systemic lupus, and I had, being the overachiever that I am, I had it in every single organ. I had near organ failure in every single organ, and I almost died. And then I healed beyond what doctors thought was possible, and I got to experience myself as unlimited. I have fallen in love. Oh, delicious love. Not once. I have fallen in beautiful, delicious love. I've lost people that I loved. I've been sexually assaulted and sexually abused. I've created the life of my dreams. And why am I sharing this all with you guys? Do you think it's to make you jealous a little bit? Do you think I'm trying to make you jealous? I'm not trying to make you jealous, but I am trying to make you see what is possible. And I'll speak about jealousy in a minute, but I want to share with you that it doesn't matter where you are in your journey and what is going on for you, because I have coached people from students to CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. And all of us are on this journey of finding ourselves, of rediscovering our true, authentic version of us that is unconditional love, that moves through this world with ease and grace and experiences life as this beautiful gift, right? Michelle, when I met Michelle, she had started her company and she thought she was successful. And by the time we finished working together, she was on a completely different level. She says, I never imagined so much could change in such a short space of time. Working with Susanna is truly transformational, but also so much fun. I always believed I had to suffer in order to change, and now I have the tools to move through life being the light no matter what happens. And I'm sharing that with you because if it's possible for Michelle, it's possible for you. If it's possible for me, it's possible for you, right? If it's possible for me, it's possible for you. Can I tell you a little bit about my story? Do I have your permission? Guys, can I tell you a little bit, go into a little bit more of my story? Yes, 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 please. Okay, great. So I am an internationally acclaimed, intuitive, transformational facilitator. Wow, that is a mouthful. I'm a personal mastery and empowerment coach, I suppose, if you wanted to put it into technical terms. And I started my journey when I was very little. I was that strange kid that you would see. Well, most people didn't actually see the strange kid. I was the strange kid that would walk around and seeing people's auras and energies. And I would go up to someone and say, hey, look at your light. It's so blue today, or purple or pink or whatever it was. And they'd be like, okay, weirdo. And I would see spirits and communicate with spirits. And I would see the mountain breathing, and I would see the flower blooming and life coming through her, and I would feel the dog speaking to me. I was that person, right? And as time went by, I realized that, well, with all the judgment that came at me, that was not normal according to this world. And so I started hiding those aspects of myself, right? I started hiding them away. But it didn't stop my curiosity. I've always been one of the most curious people that I've ever met. That little soul, guys, that was me 100%. I was like, give it to me. Give it all to me. Give it all to me. And then let me live in purpose, being a conduit for miracles on this planet. And let me share what I learn as I go so that I can empower others, so that I can inspire others to step into their unlimited potential. And so I did my first healing course when I was 15 years old, and I've been studying personal development and healing modalities throughout my life. But my parents didn't want a poor artist as a daughter, and so they wanted me to go and study to become a teacher. And this led me on quite a roundabout path, and I ended up in the entertainment industry, and that's a story for another time. But in 2013, I started getting sick. I was really not doing well, and I started getting sick. And this was me lying in the hospital bed, having near organ failure in almost every single one of my organs. And doctors did not think it was possible that I would recover from this. And when I say to you, I went from that in record time to this, to living a full life of health. I put this picture here of me on the side in a bikini because that's me healthy and well, surrounded by friends. On stage, that was in front of I spoke in front of 4,000 people at this event with Brian Welsh and Robin Banks over there. Do you recognize the guy on the far left-hand corner with the blue background? Is that a little John Travolta? Yes, it is. I've had my own talk shows. But the most important thing for me in all of this, I've bought a community center and transformed them so that they could be a self-sustaining community center. It's in Nyanga and Guguletu down the road. I've done so many beautiful things, and it's just in these past few years since I healed in record time. But my most important thing is, you can see there's a picture of me on the beach with a light above my head. And it's my spiritual connection. It is my divine connection and my ability to facilitate change in everyone. And everything that I do is aligned with supporting you guys in facilitating change within yourselves and within your lives. And last night I was actually in tears, with my students giving me their feedback, because I'm always humbled and I never take it for granted that I get to live this life, that I get to be here, that I get to do the work that I do. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because I'm trying to make you as jealous as possible, because I live on the beach. Yes, I do, guys. I live on the beach. Is anybody jealous of that? Anyone? I'm just kidding. You don't need to be jealous. But is jealousy a good or a bad thing? Because I want you guys to reframe your understanding of jealousy and your perception of jealousy. So is jealousy a good thing or a bad thing? Anybody? Good or bad? Dun, dun, dun. Yes, you will get a replay. And I'm going to send you lots of extra bonuses. So don't worry, you will get a replay. Is jealousy a good or a bad thing? Good, bad, good, bad. Is it a curse or a gift? Depends. Yes, good, bad, 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 good. Okay, so I think jealousy is a brilliant thing. And the reason why I think jealousy is a brilliant thing is because it's the universe showing you what is possible, right? So if you can, every time you feel jealousy, instead of responding from a wounded place of lack, shift your mindset and go, thank you, universe, for showing me what is possible. It opens up your energy field to receiving that which you desire. Whereas if you go, I'm so cross, I don't want that. And the universe, you meet the universe with that thing that you wanted will stay away from you. Because the universe goes, you want that. So it's over there. Like wanting is a shifting away from. Having is an embracing. Those are two different energies, right? Not to be encouraged in the negative. No. That's what I'm saying. It should be the positive. So you can go from depression, which I had, suicidal attempt, loneliness, overcome miscarriages, devastating divorce, sexual abuse and assault, and many, many more, including facing the illness that I healed from in record time, to living a life in alignment with my purpose, perfect health, abundant happiness, deep fulfillment, and being surrounded by incredible friends and family in a state of abundance. And I'm sharing that with you because if it's possible for me, then it's possible for you too. Now, just understanding how to look at a miracle, how to look at a gift, which we've gone over, right? And how to look at when you feel jealous and just making those little shifts. If you just do those, guys, if you just do those going forward, you will already start seeing changes happening. Do you get that? I hope you get that. I am jealous in a good way. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to have a sip of water. What is my secret sauce? What sets me apart from working with other facilitators? I work mind, body, heart, and spirit. Everything needs to be in alignment. We've heard the story. When your words, your thoughts, and your actions are in alignment, those are powerful forces of attraction. We've heard them in so many different teachers, right? But what they're missing, thoughts, words, actions, is the emotions, and that is the energy. That is the energy, and that's the most important part. When your words and your actions and your thoughts are in alignment, the tap is on, but it's dripping. When you add emotion, it's like the tap is gushing with water. So if you walk around thinking, I saw this, I'm trying to think of, there was this post the other day, and there's this dad in the car. It was on Instagram. There's this dad in the car with his kids, and the kids are doing their morning affirmations with the dad, but he almost looks cross. So he's like, I am brilliant. And the girls are like, I am brilliant. And he goes, I am a force for good. And they go, I am a force for good. Like, that is not going to give you what you want. But when you tap into bliss state, when you really tap into that central energy of bliss state, that's the activation point, right? So spiritual medicine is something that I've been guided to do. It is a process of harnessing universal energy and flowing it through myself and out into the world. And what I do is I teach you guys how to do spiritual medicine, but just by being here on this session with me now, you are receiving spiritual medicine from me. So your energy vibration, and I got another thumbs up from the universe. So your energy vibration is going to raise just by being on the call with me here today. But if you practice spiritual medicine, if you do any of my processes, your energy vibration is going to lift. This is going to increase the vibrational frequency that you are vibrating at, and it's going to allow for movement so that the things that you think about, so that the actions that you are taking, and so that the heart space that you are in is more available to attract more of what you want. So that's spiritual medicine. It also raises the vibrational frequency on the planet. So every time you do it, you are expanding love on the planet. And that's my purpose here, guys, is to expand love on the planet. And we all do it in different ways, but that is my purpose. And so me teaching you spiritual medicine expands love on this planet. I combine that with ancient wisdom, and the ancient wisdom are things like I've been speaking about today, but so much more. We need lots of time, and I don't have a lot of time left. Scott, will you give me a time check of how much time I have left, please, in the comments? You don't have to say it, you just have to say it in the comments. So I combine that with ancient wisdom, traditional coaching methodologies, and somatic movement. So we also get memory. I don't know if you guys have heard about memory that are stuck in your cells, right? So when something happens, it goes into your actual body and it gets stuck in your memory cells, in your physical body, right? And what that does is when something triggers a memory, right? You react to that memory, you reenact the trauma that memory brought up. So your body physically re-experiences the trauma that you initially had. And sometimes it's so subtle, so you don't even know that you've been reminded of it, but you can feel triggered and you can feel this trauma inside of you. We need to release that. It's so important to release that. Am I currently at 40 minutes? Amazing. Thank you, Scott. Shame it. I gave him such hell. I was like, we have to be 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to wrap up. So everything is energy and vibration. Our conscious and we are the co-creators of our reality. The universe is the creator. We co-create with the universe. We've made soul agreements, but we can either let life happen to us, or we can be the conscious co-creators and work with all of the things that I've mentioned before. All dis-ease is a result of our interpretation of a thought. So dis-ease of the mind, dis-ease of the heart, dis-ease of the body, dis-ease of the spirit, anything that is causing dis-ease is literally a result of our perspective of what is happening. And when we shift that and we do the healing, any dis-ease can be shifted. Our body keeps the most phenomenal our body is the most phenomenal creation we will ever encounter. Our body can both keep the score and heal. So that is something I didn't get to go over, and I'll have to do it at another time because I have gone over time. But I just want to end with this. The quickest and surest way of changing the world is by changing yourself. That is the quickest and surest way of changing the world. It's by changing yourself. I have got so many clients that do my courses that then all of a sudden, I mean, I had one today even. She has not gotten on with her sister-in-law in the 10 years that she has been married to her brother, and she loves her brother. So it's been really a struggle for her to have this going on, right? And we've been working together for a year now. And she said to me, they at, the festive season, and she's really enjoying being with her sister-in-law. Amazing. What happens when we change ourselves? So what do you want to shift within your life so that you live from the space of abundance and ease and grace? I want to help you do it. Can I have a hell yeah? And then Scott's going to come on and go, Susanna, damn it, you went over by 10 minutes. Scott, are you there? No, he's gone, guys. I can carry on. I'm just kidding.
And listen, I'm almost sure that people would love you to carry on. You're the one who brings the time limits. Go with the flow.
I've got a whole lot of hell yes going on. Yay, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. So, Scott, maybe you want to take it away. What we did is we came up with a beautiful bundle for you guys because we want to support you. We really want to support you on your journey. And so, Scott, maybe you want to start with what your offering is of the bundle and how you can support people. And then I'll dive in with my part of the bundle and share how I can support them. Shall we do it like that?
Cool. Okay. Spot on. So let's rock and roll in terms of where we're at here. So for me, and it's interesting because you used Nelson Mandela earlier, and for me, money won't create success. The freedom to make it will is what it's all about. And if we take those questions I asked earlier, imagine if you could go into next year and just give me 2 seconds here. Imagine if you could go into next year and you literally were making money while you're sleeping, owning assets which are hassle-free, simple, and safe, access to knowledge that the top 1% have, access to the partners that the top 1% have to navigate the uncertainties, have time freedom, diversify across countries, currencies, assets, partners, and time, and protect your wealth, have a plan B, and peace of mind. Now, I know this sounds too good to be true for so many people, but just imagine if that was a possibility. And so what Susanna and I have tried to do, not only over the last couple of months, but specifically over the last 90 odd minutes, is bring the two together where you've got the wealth space and a lot of the points that we've spoken about, but also all of the stuff that she shared with you around energy and why it's so important. And so we brought the two together, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to go into it in a bit more detail. And Susanna, I'm actually going to reverse engineer it, because I think what's important is that because you've just been talking about the mindset and energy and everything, I think it's actually better that you go into it and explain to us, what is mini manifestation, what is money manifestation, etc. But I just wanted to point out for people the balance between the two. So Susanna's going to go through it, and then I'm going to go through it on my side of the fence. But what is important is we've got two options for people. We got the abundance package and we got the VIP abundance package. And in simple terms, what is the difference? The abundance package is where we've both got courses that we're offering at the moment for people going into next year, where you can do them, and it's the home study course. So you've all kind of been on this before. There's 3 different types of ways of doing stuff. You can do it all on your own. You can do it in a community, and then you can have someone hold your hand. And what the abundance package is where you're doing it in a community, but it's a home study course. You're doing it. And then the VIP abundance package is where Susanna does spiritual medicine on a Wednesday, and I do the VIP for the wealth hackers every Friday. And so you've got the ability to actually talk to us and to kind of work with us in terms of that process. So that's just the breakdown between the two. So the one is the home study environment, and the other one is where you can actually engage with us energetically on a weekly basis. But Susanna, I'd love you to go into it, because just the way we've structured it, I think it'd be better for you to start, where we basically start off with what have you put together, and why is it so important for people at an energy level? And I think today you've already proved to everyone that we've got to get our energy right before we worry about the other stuff. I like that metaphor of a butterfly. And I've spent my whole life trying to run around and catch butterflies. And I'm out there with my big net running around, like trying to catch the butterfly. And I read something a while ago that was beautiful. It was like, rather make your garden a beautiful place where the butterflies want to come towards you. And so the metaphor for me, whether it's love or relationships or even wealth, is the same thing. Like, tend to your garden, make your garden a beautiful place where the butterflies want to come. And I think what Susanna emulates is that whole working on self, so that you've got this beautiful garden, and then the butterflies will come. And then I will share with you, I can't keep the metaphor going, how to feed the butterflies. But anyway, let's basically.
I can keep the metaphor going for you, Scott. You plant the beautiful flowers that allow the butterflies to really live in an abundant, happy, healthy state. Without flowers, the butterflies would die. They need the flowers, right? So together we plant the flowers and we create a beautiful garden. And this is so important. And what I think is the most beautiful launch pad package that we could have created is what we are putting together for you guys, because I've got a course and it's called the mini manifestation course, and there's actually nothing mini about it. My students always laugh. They're like, why do you call it the mini manifestation course? And I was like, I don't know, that's what I called it when I started doing it. And so it's called the mini manifestation course, but it is it's a beautiful launch pad into what you guys actually need. So what's included in the mini manifestation course is it's an introductory talk. There's which is a masterclass in itself, and you already get tools and techniques during this masterclass. Then you've got 3 modules that follow that. The first one is the 5 essential keys to manifesting. The second one is the 5 saboteurs, how to spot them and don't let them win, because those are so important. It's always important to remove the stuff that is not working for you so that you can replace it with stuff that does work for you, right? But if you start just adding stuff on top and not removing stuff, you're going to end up a big muddle of mess. So you need to be doing both all the time. Remove what doesn't work for me, add the things that do work for me. Remove what doesn't work for me, add the things that do work for me, right? You need to do that over and over again. And then how to raise your vibrational frequency so that you start getting more of what you want. I said so that you stop getting more than what you want, so that you start. Guys, excuse my typo there in the slide. In between those masterclasses, so you're going to watch the introductory talk, and then you're going to watch module 1. When you finish module 1, you're going to go, there's a little section that gives you these 21 days of these little activation points. Everything is energy and vibration. So everything has been created to raise your vibrational frequency, to open your mind so that you're spotting all the miracles that happen around you, for you to step in a vibrational frequency of love, of true love and abundance. And so every day I've created a little video between 1 and 3 minutes long, and it gives you a little task to do that just raises your frequency and just expands love on this planet. And by doing so, you start attracting more of what you want. So it's really, really beautiful. On the days that you don't have your masterclass, you've got the 1 to 3 minute videos. So it's not overwhelming. This can fit into your lifestyle. You also get a supportive community of like-minded human beings. Guys, this is always one of the greatest gifts, because you get to be a part of a community of cheerleaders. You can cheerlead for other people and they will cheerlead for you. And there's this constant support, which is really, really beautiful, that you get to step into. So that's my mini manifestation course. And I can see there are questions coming through, guys, and I'm going to answer all of the questions at the end. I think let me get through the presentation, and then at the end, Scott and I will answer all of your questions. Then I've got an Expand Wealth Masterclass. Now, this Expand Wealth Masterclass, I specifically created around our relationship to money, because I know that there are so many people that have wounds around money. If I ask you now, what are your disempowering beliefs about money? Money is the root of all evil. Money can't buy you happiness. Don't be materialistic. What are some of your guys' disempowering beliefs around money? Type them in the comments now. This masterclass I created very specifically, again, working mind, body, heart, and spirit, debunking the disempowering beliefs that we've got. And please do pop in your disempowering beliefs into the chat. I am looking for them, I promise. Debunking your disempowering beliefs and removing them, but also giving you practical little things that you can do to create wealth in your life. When I tell you I've manifested R1 million, I'm not joking. I've literally manifested R1 million. I've done that before. I've manifested flights overseas. I've manifested my dream home at an insane price. I've manifested a gorgeous kimono that I love. I've manifested free gifts. I've manifested all kinds of things. How do I do that? It's a combination of these 2 workshops. The second one, the Expand Wealth, is specifically around your relationship to money. And one of the things I am going to impart with you right now that I want you to think about and I want you to really start doing is start treating money like your lover. Yes, you heard me say that, guys. Treat money like your lover. Literally, it requires the same amount of appreciation, of care, of adoration that your lover would need. And so many of us don't. We're not excited and happy and grateful when we get to go and pay a bill. We just think, oh my gosh, I have to pay this bill. How grateful I am that I have the money and the resources to pay this bill. Woo, that feels so much better, doesn't it, guys? Right? So it's these kinds of little shifts that will shift you from a space of lack into a space of abundance. And of course, there's a supportive community there as well. And then I'm going to add the workshop that I did this Wednesday. And I've put priceless on it because truly, guys, it was a transformational workshop. It's a 2-hour workshop on removing what no longer serves you. These hereditary patterns, right? And that no longer serve you, and removing them to set you free. And this, for me, is one of the most beautiful things. It's a 2-hour work masterclass. The bonus is a guided spiritual medicine process that actually helps you shift. By the way, there's spiritual medicine processes in all of these. A supportive community as well of human beings. And Scott, you did the workshop on Wednesday. How was the workshop for you?
Well, 2 things. I did it on the boat at the Heads in Knysna, which was pretty special. And yeah, look, I really enjoyed it because it was all about releasing past patterns, past trauma in one's life so that you can make way for the new, and then focusing on what you need to do to create the new. So it's like a classic example of a lot of the theory in life. We already know the theory, but we don't do it. What I love about this is it was a practical guided session to do it. And so, to use your metaphor of if you want to park the Ferrari, you got to remove the old Beetle. It was that process. It was removing the old Beetle, dealing with the hurt and the trauma and the pain and things the patterns that have repeated themselves in your life. Get rid of the old Beetle and now bring in the Ferrari in terms of what you want. So yeah, it's not easy, but it's very worthwhile.
It's worthwhile. But one of the things I do want to ask you, because now you've gone through also Kinst Me, my other course, is that do I support you in going through the dark night, but with light? Because a lot of people are scared of that. They're scared to go into the dark places because they're scared that it's just going to be too dark. But is the process supportive with light holding you throughout?
Yeah, I think the best way to answer that, I'm 47. I've done 28 years worth of personal development. I've done all the go-to stuff, so all the goal setting and all the whatever, but this year is probably the year I've done more going inward and doing the healing stuff. And there's only really two things that are important for any human to do that, me included, was firstly feeling safe and secondly feeling held. And so that's when it's worked for me, when I felt safe and when I felt held. And yeah, certainly I experienced that in this process. And put it this way, the treasure you seek is in the cave you fear. If you're not brave enough to go in the cave, you're never going to find the treasure. So you better find a guide that's going to hold your hand and make you feel safe and hold your hand to go and find the treasure in the cave you fear.
I love that we've got such different language, but we're saying the same thing, Scott. I love that visual image. I always say, guys, put on your big boy underpants and your big girl panties. Come on, we're going to get stuck in together. But you do require bravery. Remember, bravery is not the absence of fear. It's doing the right thing despite the fear. And on the other side of fear is freedom, right? That's the truth. And so many of you, when I asked, what does true wealth mean to you? It means freedom. Well, then put on your big girl panties and your big boy underwear and come and travel with us, because it's going to be fun. It'll be wild and delicious. And Peter is saying, Scott and Susanna, this is the universe speaking the correct language to me. Beautiful. Yay. Okay, Scott, do you want to go through what your side of the package has?
Yeah, so I think, look, in simple terms, it's something that's probably the most important thing we've created this year, which is our passive income challenge to get Jill and Joe Soap here. They want to invest. They want to earn a passive income. They want to make money while they sleep. They have generally everything they've tried before, reading books, going on courses, even coming on our platform. 95% of people who sign up on our platform don't actually invest. So it's this red here where they fall off. And so we created the passive income challenge where someone could literally participate and in 30 days earn a passive income. What do we do and why have we created this? Well, results in 30 days. So actually earn a passive income in 30 days. Earn money while you sleep, the proverbial, literally what Warren Buffett teaches us is so important. Imagine having your money work for you 24/7. That's why it's been designed. Step-by-step guidance, so literally walk you through the process. 4 simple steps, 1 a week. We take you through the process, until you see that money coming into your wallet. And then we've also done it weekly. I mean, you can do it in 2 days, but we've done it, once a week for 4 weeks so that people can set themselves up for success. And then lastly, community and accountability. I always find whenever I want to lose weight or do something amazing, I always do it as part of a community because some days you don't feel like it and some weeks you don't feel like it. But if you've got like-minded people around you that are cheering you on, and sometimes you're the cheerleader and sometimes you need someone kicking you up the ass to make it happen, in terms of that process. How does it work? Well, literally, we get you set up with your financial goals and join the group. We complete your KYC and set up the wallet. We fund your wallet and identify the opportunities. You make your first investment. You track your results. You celebrate and plan for the future. And you literally follow these steps through in 30 days. Who's it for? Well, aspiring investors, people who want new passive income and want to learn the ropes. Seasoned investors are looking to explore opportunities internationally, and busy professionals. This is probably the most important part. People that are busy. we built this for Susanna. She's like, I've known you for 5 years, Scott. I want to get started, but I'm busy. And we're like, cool. We'll build something to help you solve that problem. Look, if you look at the value of everything that's been put together here, it's $776. And what's important is that we're not charging $776. And by the way, Susanna, you don't even know this. We did a challenge this year for free. So there's two bits of stories here that are really important. One, because a lot of people say to me, Scott, why don't you just do this for free? And I'm like, well, I've stood on stage with Robin Banks and many other people, and literally I've handed out thousands of vouchers where I literally gave people $100, and they never went on the platform and actually did, they never registered and got the investment. And then recently we did a free challenge, and we had, I'm waiting for the final verifiable facts, but it's somewhere in the region of about 350 people signed up, about 50 registered on the platform and actually turned up, about 35 did their KYC, about 20 funded their wallets, and about 10 to 15 invested, which, by the way, is worldwide stats. Like in challenges, somewhere between 5 and 10% of people finish. By the way, there's a reason 5% of all the wealth is held by, 95% of all the wealth is held by 5% of the world's population. It's because they actually take results. The reason being that we charge $97 is you're actually paying me to hold you accountable. It's literally that simple. Because if it's free, you do not pay attention, you do not take action, and I now have the verifiable facts. And we joke internally with the team because the team wanted it to be free. I fought against it. I said, when it's free, people when they don't pay attention. Well, now we've got the facts to prove it. So it's not a debate. If you want someone to hold your hand and get a result, you're going to pay for it because that will create the accountability to get the result. The other side of the equation is I spoke to you already today about getting the right information and the right partners. So the question is, how do you build a globally diversified passive income and have portfolio growth simply and safely without making the mistakes that most people make when they're trying to do it themselves? And literally, it's a strategy sheet. So Shane, my partner, put together an entire strategy sheet. Imagine having your plan on one page. What do? We take you through 5 simple modules. So the first one is the power of clarity, understanding your why. The second one is the countries. What are the top 5 countries that you need to invest in? The third is currencies. What are the top 5 currencies that you need to invest in? The next is assets. I spoke about Ray Dalio. He's got a secret formula. We need 15 quality assets. Most people couldn't even count to 5 in terms of quality assets. What are the top 15 assets you need? Then it's about finding the right partners. I'm not even going to go into that detail. How do you find the right partners? How do you go out there and find the right partners and avoid the mistakes that 80% of people make? And then bring it all together. What the hell is the point of having all the information, knowing the right partners, if you don't have a plan and get results? So this is about bringing it together and actually having a wealth plan. And then there's a bonus session, that is very important because, just by the way, by the time you get to 65, 85% of your wealth is going to be determined by your portfolio construction, how you actually put things together. Now, you can do it the hard way. You can do it the way that most of us have done it in the past, or you can do it the easy way and have a plan, actually walk away with a wealth plan and have your own investor strategy sheet. And this is not you being put in a box. This is your personal plan. Your personal plan, what do you want, your personal investment strategy. And so imagine bringing that all together and using technology so you can get there simply and safely. That is what it's all about. We call it smart investing. We literally put it together. I literally wrote the book in 2013 with Clem Sunter, endorsing it. And this was the digital upgrade 10 years later that you get. The value, if you put it all together, is over $8,000 worth of value. Hundreds of people have actually paid literally $497 for this product. So $497 have literally been paid for this. And then with our wealth hackers, we actually threw in asset class mastery, which is the top 15 assets and partners around the world where people get access to the right information and the right partners. And if you put that together with value, it's just short of $15,000 worth of value. Now, literally hundreds of people have paid just short of $2,000 to go through this. Bring the two together and you've got wealth hackers, which is literally $2,500. That's what people have actually paid for it. And the value of the courses now, because we've actually literally added to the wealth hackers over and over again. We've got the right information, the right partners, We've got Clem Santa, we've got Clem Santa Q&A, we've got the 6 pillars to wealth, which comes from the family office. We've got Enneagram and wealth. We've got how to teach your children money. We've got generational wealth. We've got effective tax structuring and estate duties. I know most people want to know about tax. That in itself is worth over $20,000. We've got the entire wealth weekend where we brought the 6 mega trends, Enneagram and wealth and generational wealth, and exclusive access to the community. To bring it all together, it's worth over $60,000. And then people say to us, well, Scott, if it's worth $60,000, why do you make it accessible for people? And this is probably the reason, and I know, Susanna, this is both a gift and a curse that you and I both share, which is that we want to share it with the world. And I've built every business that I have to date based on Zig Ziglar's principle, which is you can have anything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. So the whole philosophy is, how can we help more people get what they want? And that's why we do this. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on leave. It is the most beautiful day here in Cape Town, and not in Cape Town, where am I? Nice now. And everyone's going, where are you? Why are you not on the boat? And I'm doing what I love. I love being able to share with people. I love sharing the stage with Susanna. But for me, it's all based on Zig Ziglar's principle. And so we put it all together. And if you take what Susanna has offered, I mean, you can literally go on her website and buy the products, and you go on our website and you buy the products. The total value for the abundance package is $1,500. Like if you just go and buy it, if you just go and piecemeal and buy it around for the abundance package, it's $1,500. And if you go for the VIP package, it's $2,700. Okay, I just want to put that in context. Like that's the price right now. It's not one of these value things. Just by the way, I don't really resonate with the hurry up, run to the back of the room, blah blah blah. It doesn't really go well with me. And I think Susanna, you share me on this. But this is fact. I mean, you can literally go on our different websites and buy it. But what we did is we sat together. I don't remember exactly, Susanna. It was about 6 to 8 weeks ago. And we sat together and we said, listen, how do we set people up for success? Like, what are the different components that they need? Why don't we bring it together? I use Zig Ziglar. You've got your own kind of analogies. But it was like, how do we make it affordable for people to set them up for success next year in terms of that process? And that's just to remind you, the abundance package is everything that Susanna's already shared with you. So you've got the mini manifestation, you've got the money mastery, and I didn't even know this, by the way. You've got to love her. She always chucks stuff in. You've got literally that spiritual medicine journey that I personally went through, which was so profound, literally last week. And that, along with, from our side, the passive income challenge, plus the wealth going global, is what the abundance package is all about. Then under the VIP package, you've got everything that we just said, plus you've got the spiritual medicine, and you've got 2 seats for the wealth hackers, which is a little bit of a no-brainer for people in terms of the VIP upgrade. Because what you get with that, you've got the spiritual medicine on a Wednesday with Susanna, and on a Friday, you've got the VIP session with me under the wealth hackers. So the big reveal, Susanna, is that this is why we put it together. And we just said to people, let's set them up for success. I mean, you started off today, and it feels like 3 hours ago, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I think we've added a lot of value to people. But for people, just to remind them of what you said that this year, 2024, was a year of abundance and also a lot of difficulty for people. And that ultimately we wanted to create a package which would set people up as they go into next year. And in numerology, next year is a 9. I'm not the expert. I'm now regurgitating what I've learned from Susanna. But it's about preparing yourself for your next chapter. It's not just next year, but it's the next entire cycle, which is actually, if you look at it, it's the next decade. Okay, and what we put together here was a package to set you up for success, not just next year, but for the next decade. And so maybe, Susanna, I'll stop talking quickly. But this is what it is. And if people are interested, they can literally go to the link online.wealthuniversity.org/abundance. I'll put that while Susanna is chatting. I'll put that in the chat box for people. This is a unique opportunity. We haven't done it before, and I'm not sure if we'll do it again. But we just wanted to make it accessible for people, and we wanted to help you thrive next year. Over to you, Susanna.
Yeah, I think you really spoke into the right things there, Scott, is that we have been in a cycle of 8, which, yes, there was abundance available, and there certainly was that energy of abundance in a lot of ways as well, but it was very much also the shadow aspect of the 8, which is the power number, but the shadow aspect of power that was coming through. And I believe that this has come into being because we have moved into the age of Aquarius, which is collaboration, which is this beautiful space. And in order for us to be able to access that beauty, that abundance, that collaboration, that flow, we need to clear out what no longer serves us. And so it's had to come to the fore. And 9 is the year of completion. 9 is the year of mastery. And so it is about building the foundations and clearing out the ground. It's doing the groundwork in order for all of the foundations and the mastery, like doing that work so that you can launch yourself into another space of being, another experience of being within this world. And so 2026 is the one, and that's the launch pad. For me, guys, personally, I don't resonate with the Gregorian calendar. For me, my year starts on the 11th of the 11th every year. The Gregorian calendar doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't actually work with the universe. To be honest, if we had to work with a calendar that we looked at that made sense, we would have 13 months in the year. And then we would go by the moon cycles. And we wouldn't every 3 or 4 years have an extra day. That wouldn't happen. There wouldn't be this imbalance because the universe is actually created perfectly, right? So if we look at the universe and how it is created and how it is so lovingly supportive of every step that we take, it shows us, it gives us this information in order to support us. And one of the things that people ask me quite often, they're like, why do you do spiritual medicine specifically on these dates with these goals? Or why do you, and I say, because you can't do it wrong, you can only do it long. So you can work on things for years and years and years and years, or you can know what to do at what time, and you can take advantage of that time and the energy that supports that, and you can accelerate the process. And so that's what I want for you. That's what I want for everyone, is I want to support you guys in accelerating your process. But what Scott is saying is absolutely true. This package is laying the foundation so that you can, for the next 10 years, set yourself up. And when you think 10 years, guys, so many people think 10 years, oh, that's such a long time. A year, that's such a long time. Nonsense. Guys, it was January yesterday. Did nobody notice that it was January yesterday? For those of you that are still in the room, who feels like this year has gone by in a blink of an eye? So much has happened in this year, but it's gone by in the blink of an eye, right? Anybody? Yes, 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 right? Exactly. So imagine if you said, okay, 2025 is my year to thrive. I said, let's not make it 2025. Let's make it 2020 thrive. Scott was like, Susanna, you're so left field. But guys, 2020 thrive. I mean, doesn't that sound so much better? And what if this is your opportunity to lay the groundwork for that? If not now, then when? Think about sitting right now, guys, and what you set up for yourself, like at the end of 2023, and thought, in 2025, 2024, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to have achieved X, Y, and Z. And did you do those things? Did you lean in and do the work? Did you achieve them? No, not really. Not so much. Some of them, yeah. Some, yes. Great for the yeses, right? But not much. Some, not really. What if you could achieve so much more? And by being a part of the right community of people that really have your best interests at heart, that is going to help you so much, right? Because they've even done studies. They've done studies on a collective intention. When one person sets an intention, that's one energy. But now when you've got a number of people holding that vision for that person, it's collective energy, and it just speeds up the process. It just gives more energy to the process, and more comes in quicker. You can transfer through that so much quicker. They've even done that test beautifully with meditation. So they've done tests where they've gone into areas where there's like a high amount of violence and crime and stuff like that, and they've done meditation pods in those areas. After a couple of months, the actual crime went down in those areas just by doing that, just by putting meditation pods, which is a collective of meditators, in those areas. Why? Because meditation takes you into that frequency of love, right? And so it dismisses the negative. So that's my invitation. Come play with me, put on your big girl panties and your big boy underwear, and let's have some fun together. Scott, is there anything else you want to add, or should we go to questions?
Yeah, just a couple of things. So the first thing is,
they're battling with the link. They say that it's not working.
No, I've given them the link. It's just, I put in if you watch it in the recording, you literally take online.university.org/abundance and you put it in your Google and it'll come up. If you want to get, if you just put in there, and I'll put in there, it's https:// but it's the same as every other website on the entire planet. What I think is really important here is you've got the discounts. So these are real life discounts. They're not BS stuff. They're literally, if you go and buy the different individual stuff, that's what it costs. So it's an 80% discount on the abundance package and an 83% discount on the VIP package. I also want to point out something that Susanna is not doing, but something that we are doing, and it's really important here. So it's just, but it's bring a friend. I learned this a while ago, and bring a friend. You know, you're so much more powerful if you do it together. And so if you create it from a financial perspective, you'll be like, hey, buddy, come join me. And we can kind of, it makes it cheaper for me. So if two people do this, they get, you know, they get that discount, and the same here with on the VIP package. So I just wanted to point that out. And thanks, Susanna's put the link in again for people if you're not sure. And just by the way,
I've just tested it and it works, guys.
Oh, no, I know it works. I tested it as well. So you literally go to this page, you literally can see what you get. And then when you click on here, yes, I want it, and it'll take you through. We do everything in school, and it'll take you straight through to school. And there are the two packages, the abundance package and the VIP package, and you can literally buy them. I'm already registered and everything else, but if you're not, all you got to do is register for school, and it'll give you access. So it's really easy, really simple in terms of that process. I'll come back to the questions, but I just wanted to reinforce for people, it's over an 80% discount, so to be able to take advantage. I don't know, Susanna, how long we're going to offer this for. We haven't really chatted about it, but we want to keep it exclusive, and we really want to, for action takers, to get going so that they set themselves up and make 2020 thrive. There we are. You see, I did it.
Yay, guys, he's bought into my 2020 thrive.
And and then just a reminder of the two. You've got the abundance package, which is the stuff that we've spoken about, and then you've got the VIP package, which is an upgrade, and actually so the abundance package is an 80% discount, and the VIP package is actually an 83% discount in terms of the overall thing. We've literally also spoken about how can we help people like really kind of get going. So this will be a once-off. So primarily the person, Ilza, that asked, what we're going to do is we're going to do a live session together next year, and it'll just be for the first 20. So we've had a number that are signed up already, but for the first 20, you'll get access to us, and we're going to do a little live session with them. I don't know about Susanna, but I'm back at work on the 6th of January. I'm running a challenge for a week, so it won't be that week. So it'll probably be the middle of January, etc. But ultimately, people need to participate before then, because otherwise you won't get access to the live session. And the other thing that I think is important, a couple of people have asked, and I'm sure it's the same on your side of the fence, Susanna, if they've already bought a product of yours, or as an example, they bought a product of ours, like Wild Packers or something, just connect with us. I know a couple of my mastermind members have asked me, I don't want people to miss out. So all that we do is we'll take off what you paid, we'll minus the difference, and we'll come up with a plan. Like at the end of the day, we want to help people win in terms of that process.
Absolutely. No, we always pro you guys winning. So whatever, just approach us. And I am starting middle of Jan, so it will be that will be when I will start my spiritual medicine sessions again. And it will also be the time that I start the live Q&As. Anybody that is a part of my community from January and during my courses will be able to, like Scott said, in this VIP package, you'll get to have live Q&As with me. And the great thing is, guys, if you buy it now, my courses are all self-study. So you can dive into them over Christmas during this holiday period. You're welcome to dive into them. And for those of you that want to have the live Q&As, then you can join me early next year.
Just to be clear, ours are also self-study. So that's the same for both of us. And then they can join us next year if they want to ask questions. Perfect.
Should we do a few questions? I've actually got another meeting now, just by the way, at at 3:30. But let's take a few minutes of questions before we go. What do you think, Scott?
Yeah. So Ilse said, until when is the offer available? I don't know, Ilse. We'll put together the bonus session, and we'll probably close it out sometime around then. We haven't discussed it. We wanted to do this at the end of the year as a bit of a bonus to both our communities, and but our intention next year. I'll speak aggressively for myself, which I'm not sure if I should or shouldn't say. But anyway, my thing is abundance next year, just for me, Scott Picken. And one of the things that I'm being coached in at the moment, and Susanna actually sat in on it, is stop being Robin Hood, Scott. Stop giving everything away for free. So next year, we're going to be very aggressive with putting up our prices and charging for the value we're doing. And I'm giving Susanna the same flack she's giving me, which is that we should both be doing that. Because I think again, I don't want to be arrogant, but I think we're adding a lot of value in the world, and it's time to have that rewarded. So things like the Passive Income Challenge, where we've done it in the past for free. Susanna does spiritual medicine. She's done it in the past for free. Those days are over. Free's gone. So back to answering Ilse's question. When the time is right, and we're both working with this amazing lady, when the time is right in the near future, things will be changing. But we wanted to set people up for success and primarily add value to our communities at the end of this year, going into next year in terms of that. So that's just the first question for Ilse. It is a bit of an open-ended answer. The reason is there's not actually a fixed date. We don't know, but I wouldn't leave it. Certainly, maybe for the next 30 odd days, you'll be fine, but it definitely won't be in February. Ilse said, yep, sorry.
Sorry, I just wanted to add with that, one of the things that I've definitely, Scott and I have both been getting is this, we need to charge in order to continue. And for me, one of the messages that has been coming through so strongly is that there's an energy imbalance otherwise. If there is a valid energy exchange, it creates the right flow of energy, and the expansion is so much more. And so when you're giving things away for free all the time, you're emptying yourself out on some level, which is not healthy. It's not a good energy exchange. And so it's really good. And what is your saying, Scott? When you pay attention.
Yeah, I didn't. It's not mine. I learned it from Tony Robbins. But it's really true. When you pay attention, and I've just proved it to my own team again with the Passive Income Challenge. It's just a waste of time giving shit away for free. It's just a waste of time. Like, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So if you care about people and you care about their results, you can't give it to them for free because it's not going to work for them. And just a couple of things there. Linda, I've taken a screenshot. I'll ask the team what's going on with the school thing, but we'll figure it out behind the scenes for you. We'll get you on WhatsApp. Actually, if you do me a favor, Linda, and just put in your WhatsApp. If anyone else wants the abundance package, just type in the abundance package or VIP package, and do me a favor, type it in and just put in you can private message me and just put in your WhatsApp number, and I'll just make sure that I send you a link if you are struggling with the landing page. This is that moment when our whole team, Susanna and our whole team's on holiday, and we're here. So it's like we're like, we'll have to figure that out. in terms of process. Kelly said,
I've actually
time I've heard
sent
you present, Susanna, it really moved me way more than I expected. Thank you for creating this. So,
sorry, I missed that, Scott, because I was saying I've just messaged Shane and said, hey, can you can you help? We're on the webinar and the link isn't working very well. What did you say? Sorry, Scott.
Kelly said, that's the first time I've heard you present, Susanna. It really moved me way more than I expected. Hearts, thanks for creating this. There's a couple of people that are sending messages through with their WhatsApps and stuff, so that's fine. For Z, the total package for the VIP package is $497. But if you go to that link, Z, the online, you can see it here. Look at my mouse. This link here, online.wealthuniversity.org/abundance. Then you can literally get all the details. It tells you not only the price, but it also tells you everything that is in the package in terms of it, where it is. So hopefully that helps. If anyone is watching the recording and if they are struggling, my recommendation, I'll put in an email quickly with our support email. That's probably a good idea. Let me just do that quickly, Susanna, if you don't mind. I just want to go to this stage here. Oh, no, that's not a good idea. That was my email. That's a terrible idea. While we're talking, I'm going to update that email for you so that I can give you support at wealthuniversity.org. So let me just, I'm going to, yeah,
You will let me speak while you're doing that, Scott.
Yeah, you go on.
Okay, so I want to answer a few questions. First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for your beautiful feedback, Linda. It was lovely to connect with you and lovely to connect with everybody here today. I've really appreciated this opportunity. I know some of my community is here and some of Scott's community is here, and we're getting to be exposed to each other's communities, which is so special. And I've really loved spending the time with you. We have tried to pack so much into such a short space of time, and so trust me, you will get free access to certain bonuses as well. If you join up, you're going to get those free bonuses. We'll also, for everybody that is online, we'll send you a little gift to say thank you so much for being here today. So please just say hell yeah if you'd like to get a little bonus from us so that we can get to know each other a little bit better, because I really would love to get to know all of the individuals that are here today. Some of the questions,
Susanna, sorry, just very quickly, I've got that updated just for people. So if I shouldn't do this, but anyway, it's there. There's my WhatsApp details. I'll kill you if you send me happy Christmas cards. But anyway, but on a serious note, if you need to send me a WhatsApp, and then that's the email that I'd prefer people to use, which is our support email. So support@wealthuniversity.org. So that's mainly not for people online, because those of you who are live now, we were already helping. But if anyone's watching the recording, that would be the way to get help if you're keen and we can't help you. Anyway, I'll go back, Susanna. I didn't want to break the thunder, but I just wanted to make sure that people, what's going on here? I just wanted to make sure that people knew what to do if they were watching the recording.
No problem. Do you want to pop that email address in the comments as well, Scott, so that people have them?
Yeah.
Have it. Perfect. One of the comments that has come through is that they've done manifestation courses with, say, Regan from Mind Valley, and she's incredible, by the way, guys. She's really fantastic. I've started her manifestation course. I haven't done the whole thing. I have to be honest with you. I've only done, I think, 2 modules, but she's wonderful. She's got a wonderful energy. The thing that sets me apart from other manifestation coaches is my spiritual medicine. It's the one thing that they don't offer. So they definitely work very much on mind and action in terms of like how to set your mind up and your actions, but they don't channel spiritual medicine. And that's where I actually hired a company recently to do kind of an audit on who I am and how I fit in with everybody else. And Scott, we can see you doing that, right? And that was the thing.
I didn't know that, so thanks for letting me know. But anyway, it's there now, so that everyone has it all in one place.
And the thing that that sets me apart from them is that I work on all levels, mind, body, heart, and spirit. And my secret sauce really, it's like throwing the whole kitchen sink at it instead of just one aspect of it. So I really look forward to everyone that has said that they are signing up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, please. This is one of my sayings in life, guys.
I want to butt in there, Susanna, because it's something really important. I love
Yes.
Mind Valley. I've read Vishen's book. I think it's amazing. Mind Valley's massive. You're not going to have a human connection. Like, you're going to go online with Mind Valley and you're going to learn. Susanna and I are at a stage of our careers where you've got access to us right now, and that's unique. It's very unique. You know what I mean? So it's something that's it's quite important. Like you said, the spiritual medicine. Like, you're literally there, you're learning like directly. It's not a recording and I mean, I love Mind Valley. Please, I'm not talking badly about it. But if you're trying to compare an apple with an orange, and so it's something really, really useful, people, just to take into account. It's quite a unique opportunity, because I've got no doubt with the work that Susanna's doing, the work that I'm doing, that the global stage and adding value at scale is what's going to happen in 2025. That's our dream. That's our abundance. We want to figure out how to add more value to more people. But with that, our time will become a lot more precious and what's the opposite of abundant? Scarce. And take advantage of a unique opportunity. I'm glad that you all got to see me doing it live, but there I put the email in. I have no idea from a graphic design where to put it. But anyway, there it is if anyone wants that email, basically, with everything in there.
I also saw that there were some people that have done a lot of work on how to release wounding and sabotaging themselves. And I just want to say, this is something that I deal with a little bit in the mini manifestation course. And then, of course, I've got other courses that deal more specifically with that. So if the mini manifestation course is the launch pad, so that's going to get you going. And then we go deeper and deeper and deeper. But what it will do is it will give you a clear vision of where it is, where are the gaps, that you need to work on. And until we know what we need to work on, we don't know what we need to work on. So I really encourage you to get a really good perspective on your life and what is working for you and what isn't working for you, so that we can help you get the things that are not working for you to work for you. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Scott. I've already learned so much from your community, mind-opening and incredibly valuable. That's from Ilse for you, Scott. I thought that was beautiful.
Can I also just give a shout out to John, because John and I were literally on a call at like an hour before. And as John and I were joking, I was like, John, I'm going live in like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. And, we had a great conversation. And I just actually thought post our conversation, why don't you come and join us? I think you'll really enjoy, based on what you were looking for. And so he literally, talk about a man taking action. He literally jumped on. And so, yeah, John, congrats to you, because I know it wasn't in your diary. You didn't know anything about it. So I hope you've really enjoyed it. And if nothing else, the conversation him and I had literally an hour before this presentation, hopefully it's given him some insights into how he can make 2025 an abundant year for himself.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Does anybody have any more questions before we wrap up? Please let me know. You can just pop it in. Brilliant. I need spiritual medicine. Yeah, hell yeah. We all do. I do. Thank you, Scott. Okay. Thank you, Susanna. Beautiful. I think that is it. Someone wrote read hotels. I don't know what that means.
Red hotels, as in they know they should invest in red hotels and Monopoly. Doris,
red hotels.
You and I,
they put it in
we'll have a Monopoly game, and I'll teach you about greenhouses and red hotels. And John's to thrive in 2025, which is great, John. That's exactly what you need. And it's one of the reasons why Susanna is such an incredible person to work with, because I think the combination coming together is what can help people truly thrive in 2025.
Yeah, and I'm blown away by the resources that you've gathered as well, Scott. Like, going into your platform on school is just, It's so full of such valuable resources. The way I'm going to be navigating next year is setting aside 2 hours a week just for my wealth creation, right? And I've already started looking in the school platform that Scott has created in the Wealth University. And I just know that it's about, guys, it's not about doing everything in one go. Like the time for overwhelm is over. We need to really start taking care of ourselves and taking things at a slower pace that actually builds consistently and expands us properly, instead of like, it's no good, right? So I really, really encourage you guys to take the time to go on a journey with us. And it's amazing the difference that you can experience in a year. It really, really is. So I want to say thank you to every single one of you.
Before you finish off,
Yes.
we're going to be all day. No, on a positive
No,
note.
we're not. I have to get to a meeting that I was supposed to be at 10 minutes ago.
But importantly, this is actually a very good question to finish off with, Susanna.
Yes.
So Chenzo says, in a world shifting so quickly, what mindset or daily practice do you believe will empower individuals to stay adaptable while still building sustainable long-term abundance?
So you're asking me this. This is a long answer, Scott. I answer this question in the mini manifestation course. It's a collection of mindsets. It's not one. And it's a collection of practices. It's not one. You have to first, I always say, you need to first find out like all of the information, right? And you start finding all of the information, then you start trying it all on, all of these different things. So in the mini manifestation course, guys, I throw so many different practices at you. I throw so many different ways of reframing situations. My students call me the reframing queen. And what reframing is seeing a situation and shifting it so that it works for you, right? And I throw you so many ways of doing that, so that when you walk into life, you've literally got like this bag of tools and techniques that arms you to walk through, move through whatever you need to do in an empowered way, not from a place of suffering. And of course, the practices, there's a number of practices. So there's a long answer to this, and it's called the mini manifestation course. Come and do it.
Awesome. And I think I'd also finish off with that and say, one of the biggest things I've learned in life is that there's not any one thing. It's like that bead you have. You got to be it every single day. And what we've tried to create here is a number of tools to allow you to be the person you want to be, do the things you need to do. And if you do both of those two things, you'll have the things you want in your life. And so that's all from me. Susanna, final words. Let's wrap it up.
Well, I just want to say thank you more, please. It's been so special to be with you guys here today. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your enthusiasm and all of your beautiful comments. I've seen them coming through. Thank you, Jan. Thank you to Melo. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Craig, more Craigs. Thank you, John. I wish I could say everybody's names that are in here, but I wanted to say thank you for being here. And to those of you that choose to invest and come forward on this journey with us, I'm so looking forward to getting to know you better. And also thank you, Scott. Thank you for collaborating with me to bringing this vision to life, to be able to support both of our communities, to stepping into their most abundant selves, their most abundant life. That is my greatest joy, to see people living in a space where they are happy and they are love-filled and they are abundant within themselves. So thank you, Scott.
That's a pleasure. And to those that want to join or even buy it as a Christmas present, literally go to the link online.wealthuniversity.org/abundance. If you need support, go to the support here on the left-hand side. I remind you that you're getting the abundance package for an 80% discount, the VIP package for an 83% discount. You can get all the details on this link. And for 20 of you that join us, will literally get access to us with a bonus session in terms of that process. Have an incredible end to your year. Make sure that 2025 is abundance, but most importantly, set yourself up for success. Cheers, everyone.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Tamelo is saying 2020 thrive. Yes. Hell yeah. Bye, guys. Lots of love.